Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nerd³ Podcats!
Oh, Tatar, if you will. I'm Matt, and I host this thing. Oh,
That's Matt. We've got Matt with us today. We don't know where Dan is. We've not
hello,
heard from Dan all evening.
This is Dan's voice.
It's Australian Dan. He's turned up.
Danger, danger, danger.
We're also joined by Australian Dan, apparently. I don't know why we just are.
Australian Dan is cousin of Dan.
I'm surprised John's managed to make it here. I wasn't thinking he'd know how to turn on a computer based on last week's information.
Shut up.
Yes, shut up. This is John's voice.
Bullying that last week. There was so much sympathy for me in the comments.
I don't know how gravity works.
Everyone acknowledged that for the bullying it was.
There's sympathy for some of the characters I've been abusing in Prison Architect. Fuck him. Really, to be perfectly honest.
What's the guy you killed for putting in a priest and you just left him in solitary?
Speed story isn't quite over yet.
Fucking Speed.
Speed turns up once more during the escape mode, and we have a bit of a climactic showdown. It bookends the series quite like. There's only 3 episodes of escaping, by the way. The series isn't going to go on for very much longer. It's like 2 days left, I think. So spoilers, but that's kind of it. And then the next series I've already got done. So
yeah.
And the series after that will be, I don't know, something very, very short, because I need a few days to fill in.
I like how you just keep having to fill in.
I know, right? I'm filling in like smaller and smaller and smaller gaps. I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Come out
like
already.
the final playthrough will just be like the Game Boy turning on noise, just ding, and then there'll be enough room, and then I'll just be able to get it out in time. Yeah.
And I'll show you. After all your mockery, I don't know how my car works, supposed though. I think I was most of the way there. I've found a game that lets me build a car this week. I've made the best video of me building a car.
Most of our mockery came because you don't know how fucking orbits work, which is a lot worse than not knowing how a car works. Be clear. Just to be clear on that.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone has to know how space works, obviously.
No, it's not space. It's the basic fundamentals of physics in the universe.
Well, I've been reading up on it since this last week. I think I understand a bit more about how orbits work now.
Yeah, he read Newton's original papers. That's like the first thing he went to.
After we caught the last podcast, me and Dan did spend another 20 minutes explaining how orbits work.
No, I get it. So you're literally, because there's no up or down or anything in space, you're basically just constantly falling, but you're being constantly pulled slightly towards the Earth, but you're missing it because you're always going fast enough that you miss it.
Yes.
Oh my god, he got it.
He's got it.
You're constantly falling, but the falling is being ever so slightly pulled towards a body you'll never reach.
Yes. Yeah. Just like being in love. Ah.
So I think I understand it now.
Good.
So I've been doing
You're
some
ready
reading.
to pass your 11 plus.
That is not in the 11 plus.
Yes, it is.
Oh
you
my God,
fucking
I
learn
bet
that
it's
in really basic
I
science.
bet it's like the basicest thing.
No,
Yeah.
it can't be.
There are kids' games about how orbits work. You use the cannon
I
thing.
remember like stuff that you did like at the end of primary, early secondary was ludicrously easy, and I was part of the cohort before school got stupidly easy when you two went to school. I was part of the earlier cohort when school was serious.
Hey John.
The 11 plus covers mass and also gravity.
Yeah, fuck you, John.
Covers gravity.
People learn this in Angry Birds, John.
Yeah, Angry Birds Space, the game that everyone can play. I've
Literally
literally
made
seen babies play Angry Birds Space. Actual babies with their gross, tiny, grabbing, sponge-fingered hands and their squishy, soft spots on the top of their hair that like to leave things in, like pencils.
That's weird.
I like that babies have an off button. It's a bit permanent, but boop, and then they're gone. I've killed the baby already in this podcast. It's not a super great start.
We have to start. I think now we're just upping the ante every time.
I
love raping women. I love fucking killing the government.
I like to point out most of those are in satire. This one I was like, I'm just going to go dark. Fuck it. Good.
Jesus Christ.
Somebody says they didn't do orbits until grade 11. See, even musicians learn about orbits. It's a good joke there. Pianos are graded.
A lot of people seem to be thinking opinion it's about GCSE level, which seems fine because I dropped all sciences before GCSE.
Can you do that? Oh yeah, but you live in Poshville, Poshvania.
Also, I swear you do learn it in the SATs, year 9 and stuff. I swear.
Yeah, I did. Well, I did advanced SATs when I was in primary school.
Whoopty-doopty, look at you.
I covered it in SATs in primary school. So,
Oh yeah, do you know what E equals MC squared yet means?
Yeah, you told me at the end of last week.
But did you remember?
Energy equals mass multiplied by speed of light squared.
So it's not like relativity because it's just things that are near each other.
But what does it mean, John?
Not things that are near each other, just how things relate to
John,
each other.
what does it mean, though? What does it mean? What does it mean? Vaguely.
size of the universe? Speed of the universe?
Size of the universe!
Extent of the universe?
No. It's
Speed
nothing
of
to
light?
The reboot of the universe.
What does the equation mean, John?
E.
I feel like John's been ambushed by like a pop quiz. Just suddenly, I feel like the worst kind of teacher right now. I'm actually going to keep all of us back behind afterwards for this.
Like, what does it represent, John? What is the fundamental theme that
how does the what was it, Marmite times chocolate or whatever it was you said last time?
It was momentum. It was energy
chocolate.
equals momentum times chocolate.
Yes.
John.
Chocolate was a guess. Momentum was a better
Okay,
guess.
John. What does it have? What does this have to do with traveling the speed of light?
Well, hang on. The C is the speed of light, didn't you say?
I feel like somewhere Scott Manley is screaming. Just silently screaming.
Okay, John. What is it? What is it? Yeah, it is the speed of light, but I'm not asking for the bits of the equation. I mean, what does the equation actually mean? Like, what is
energy? Energy.
No,
Just
I'm
it's
not.
E equals something, so energy.
John, I'm asking what the law dictates specifically. What did we explain?
And here we see bullying in the school place. Happening on a podcast. A perfect example. The bully thinking he's being funny. The bully being bullied, but attempting to prove himself, fighting back to no avail because he's dumb. We will now continue to observe this.
John, what does it have to do? John,
Here we go.
I'm going to spell it out for you, right, John?
I'd love to jump in, but we're not allowed to do that in nature documentaries.
Without infinite energy or infinite
Can't hear
mass.
Matt over the side of
Okay,
the
John,
commentary.
You can't hear the
cannot go faster than the
commentary.
speed of
I
light without
record
infinite
this
energy. That's
after.
what it dictates. That's why you can't go faster than the speed of light. That's
Planet
what
Earth
the
2
equivalent
starting
Sci-fi says you can
2017.
go faster than the speed of light. That's how you do the Kessel Run in under 12 parsecs.
That's to do with warp.
Anyway, you know,
That's
let's
warp
just-
bubbles. That's a completely different thing. That's subspace bending. Fuck you, John.
I like how John was like, well,
subspace
science fiction says it so. Like, wow, that opens up a lot of arguments. Sorry, I wasn't late, but I was just in space and time fucking with the Doctor. That's what I was doing. We were just fucking around. Did you watch Class? Class has now aired, the Doctor Who spin-off.
Yeah, on BBC Three, which is
Yeah.
basically like announcing we're not bothering to air it.
Well, it was originally going to be for BBC Three. That was the plan, but now BBC Three is like digital only. And I've watched it. And I watched the first episode. There are two, but that's unfortunate because I've only watched the first one. And I think that's as far as I'm going to watch because I came away from it going, yes, well, you definitely made that.
Is it more like Sarah Jane Adventures or more
No.
like Torchwood?
It's more like Torchwood.
Oh.
It's gone
in the bad ways or the good ways?
In the bad ways.
Oh.
It's a bad pilot. It's a really bad pilot, and I do feel like I'd have to watch a second episode to get the gist of the show. It's so exposition heavy. It's like, all right,
How
scene,
much
characters
you've got
explain
an
everything
existing,
about their
you've got an
lives.
existing universe to just start with.
Oh my god, right? My biggest problem with it is they've got the existing universe. And this is going to let you know the levels of nerd that I am, because after watching it, I went, right, there's these shadow things that are killing people. They're not the Vashna Narada, but they're pretty much the same. Let's find out where the Tower of London is from Coal Hill High School, or Academy, or whatever the fuck it's called now. Because the Tower of London is where Unit is housed. 21 minutes away. So why does the Doctor at the end of the episode go, hey, you guys could defend the universe? Why doesn't he just go, I'll just give Unit a bell, they're 20 minutes away, mate? There's like, it's literally Torchwood. There's a rift in space and time the monsters are going to pour out of and they have to protect the school. But unfortunately, it doesn't have like the hook of Captain Jack, who we already knew and was established, even though they fucking ruined him. So it's like worse in some way. I know that's terrible. It will not be worse than Torchwood because Torchwood is atrocious on toast.
Fuck you.
But no, it's seriously, it's dreadful. But it was just not aimed at me. It's very like fellow kids. It's very much written by a 45-year-old writing it for his like 16-year-old daughter. It's got a lot of reference. It's very reference heavy, but it's not making jokes of things. It's just like, we mentioned Instagram, kids. Hey, kids, you listening? We mentioned Instagram. Oh, you know Instagram. That's that thing that you Instagram.
The kids still on Instagram these days. I thought they were all on Snapchat.
I don't fucking know, John. I am the 45-year-old. I'm sitting
No,
there
you're
being...
not.
What? You know what it did well? The one thing that it did well...
Okay. If you remember the Blitz, put your hand up.
do.
Just me. Fine.
Jesus.
John wrote the book on it. It was like, could you put that noise down? I can't read this book by the wonderful Stephen Fry, who was around at the Blitz as well. It's around since the dawn time.
He might have been around there somewhere. I'm not sure, actually. I never ran into him at the time, anyway.
It might be. Well, it's a big place, London, even though most of it was being bombed. But yeah, class is very weird. It's very Doctor Who baddies. They look like Doctor Who baddies, but they like stab this girl and she explodes she like literally like gore flies out of her and she explodes. I'm like, that feels like tonally fucking off. Like, that's just like, because it's got the same sort of pacing as Doctor. I mean, like, the start's a bit more screamy and it's all shot to be all like dark and gritty, and it's very dark and gritty. But the whole thing feels like we're waiting for the Doctor to turn up, and we're waiting for the Doctor to turn up, and we're waiting for the Doctor to turn up, and then the Doctor turns up and saves the day. And you're like, okay, that's an episode of Doctor Who which is a little bit too gory for some reason and sweary. So,
Doctor, how are you going to stop the things coming up? Oh, I'm not going to bother. From now on, it's all up to you.
Terrible.
I only save you once. Next time, it's all on you.
Literally, he comes on and is like, I'll leave you to this. Because he closes up the rift like most of the way, but can't close it all of the way. It's like a zip, but he just can't get the top bit done. It literally
of course.
Like
the TARDIS and the Doctor would have no way of just finding a way to close it.
Yeah, the Doctor's he comes along and he's like, hello, I'm the Doctor. Here's a joke about IKEA. Here's a joke about some other TV shows. Here's a joke about media studies. Alright, fuck off.
Great, good, relevant.
Yeah, it was like it was written for Matt Smith's Doctor as well, but like badly. It's like a really bad. The Doctor was like the worst bit, and like Peter Capaldi was bringing wonderful A game, but the lines were.
You know what? It's really bad. I keep forgetting Peter Capaldi's the Doctor, even though I like Peter Capaldi more than the other ones because I never liked Doctor Who being quirky.
I love the Doctor being alien and quirky.
I know, but like my Doctor, like
Doctor.
When I started watching Doctor Who, it was the Christopher Eccleston stuff, and I really liked the Christopher Eccleston stuff. And then it went a bit too, and the early David Tennant stuff, and then it went a bit too goofy.
I don't think it ever went too goofy. I think the Doctor was just more alien. I think Matt Smith played an alien Doctor.
Yeah.
Which I think was necessary. He just went full on, fuck it, he kind of had a midlife crisis, really.
Yeah, I understand it narratively. I'm not saying it was a bad narrative, I didn't like it, you know.
Does it got a bit more interesting when they got rid of Rose in the Tennant era. After they binned Rose, it was a lot better.
Fuck Rose.
Well, Martha is the greatest of the companions.
Martha is the best.
Oh,
well,
but
Donna's
Clara,
puts in a good run too.
See, I have issues with Donna. Because she starts off being incredibly Catherine Tate, and that's an acquired taste.
Yeah, but you just have to pretend the Runaway Bride didn't happen, because they blatantly completely retconned it anyway.
Yeah. So you have to pretend that didn't happen, and then you have to deal with just how fucking tragic her life is at every fucking turn. Just literally everything that happens to Donna is just tragedy, 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 fuck off. And that's it. That's Donna's life.
It's not that tragic. It's just no one even dies.
Apart from her husband, who betrays her.
Yeah, but no one liked him, and that's in the episode we pretend didn't happen.
We see her.
That's the episode we pretend didn't happen.
Her soulmate. I like how you're like, there's nothing there as long as we don't pretend these things.
Yeah, but that's because blatantly, like, the Donna of that episode is a completely different character. They just wanted Catherine Tate back, but they didn't really want it to be the same character. But they couldn't quite get away with the whole, it was my cousin that died in Torchwood bullshit. They got away with Martha. She was a relatively small part.
There's actually a little bit of a tie-in to that version of Martha in Class. It's a very
the fake cousin Martha who died having a snog in the building, yeah.
Yeah, there's something interesting about that. But all the companions have appeared in Doctor Who before. I mean, Amy was in it before, and Clara was probably a Dalek.
Yeah, Amy was you really have to look for Amy, though. She's
but
really
she's in the same
background.
episode as Capaldi. That was quite fun.
And then they promised they were going to explain why Capaldi had the same face as Caecilius, and then they kind of didn't actually.
When they're going to do the whole thing about like the faces he sees or what influences changes or something?
Nothing. They never will. It's like the Doctor was like hiding away with Matt Smith. Is the way that Moffat argues. The current Doctor is him like going, "This is who I am." And I really wish he hadn't said that because Capaldi's a bit of a cunt hole as the Doctor. Like he's just not likable. Like I'm like, could you lie to me again? Could you get Matt Smith or someone like that and just lie to me? Just be happy. Just enjoy the universe. I don't want to travel around the universe with Rick Sanchez. And like,
how dare you?
If Peter Capaldi was allowed to swear as much as he does in the thick of it, then it would be a very different show, just like a completely different show. But B, it would fit his character because it feels like every time he pauses for breath, I expect him to just call someone a twat knuckle. Like I
also really like how Capaldi has no idea what YouTube is, but they really want him to, because they got him to like record a whole bunch of end cards for his clips that they put up on the BBC's YouTube channel, and they they just sat around and said, okay, so now we need you to just tell the audience to please subscribe for more clips, and he just has no idea what's going on with YouTube. He just sits there, and it's the most kind of inorganic, forced, make sure to subscribe for more clips for BBC on YouTube.
John, have you ever watched a Conan clip? Because a lot of the Conan clip, they end with just him there going, hey, please subscribe, because then they'll stop making me make these. And he just seems really contemptful about
really get that impression from Peter Quad. He had either he really didn't want to do that, or he had no idea what the hell YouTube subscriptions were about. It was one or the other, because because Matt Smith really had fun with them. He actually plays around with them a lot. He clearly had a load of fun making them, but Peter Capaldi just could not be arsed.
I argue Matt did that to the character of Doctor Who as well, as he absolutely is having a ball as being a weird alien from space who's weird.
You too, because I see like the Doctor Who could be something a bit more like. In the same way Batman can be told in many different ways, which I'll talk about later, I kind of feel Doctor Who could work like that as well, in that, you can do a load of different kind of characters and takes on it. You can have really serious and
absolutely
really playful.
The unfortunate thing is, Batman doesn't go, hey, every single one of these is canon.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's the issue. The problem, again, there's another problem I have with Class, is that you've established how the Doctor Who universe works. You've got units that are established for us. You've got all of these things set up. And when they don't do anything, like apparently this thing's been spitting out Artron energy, I'm like, why the fuck is unit just not around the school? Kids have been vanishing. There's just been massive amounts of death and stuff around the school. And unit are like, that's just Brexit. That's all they're doing.
They're just busy because they lost a few people in the last series or something.
Oh god, that fucking church scene! Christ, who let that fucking scene happen? Bloody buggering hell's bloody.
They needed to train those people a bit better, didn't they?
It's like,
they
that scene where you got a
trained.
shapeshifter and there's one person going, no, don't go over there, that's the shapeshifter. And the shapeshifter's like, ha ha ha, I tricked you. It's that for 20 minutes. And 15 characters in a row fall for it. And you're just there going, who the fuck? You're like, Unit come across about as smart as their own survival as John does about science.
Who the fuck are Unit?
They're the Earth Defense Force, basically.
They're the Men in Black, but British and useless.
Okay, so
they're like an anti-alien army. Torchwood were the Men in Black for...
Yeah, Torchwood... Well, they were like the underground Men in Black.
Yeah, but
apparently they were the Men in Black, but with more swearing and sex.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But which I always liked the concept. I like the idea of let's just do Doctor Who, but have more sex. It's like, yeah, go for it.
See, if you ever wanted to do a more adult, Doctor Who, and you actually wanted to go the explosions and tits route that Torchwood definitely went and Class possibly might be going, just remake 24, but with Unit. Have one guy Unit who just shoots the fuck out of loads of aliens.
Dan, you really liked 24, didn't you?
I literally, and this is literally yesterday, bought every single series of 24 on box set.
Okay, right.
It's great. I love it.
No, there's a new show on Netflix.
Do you know why? Do you know why I bought it? Because it was £24 and I couldn't fucking resist.
Oh.
It's like 24 for £24. Fucking buy that.
They better make more. Have you seen the most recent one, Live Another Day?
No, I've ignored that because it's not 24 hours long and it's 6 hours.
Oh no, it's actually really good. It's genuinely better than some of the other series.
Shit,
no, there is more. No, there is
really
more
good.
24. There is more 24. And you know what? Because there's a new series on Netflix called Designated Survivor.
Yeah, but it's not got Jack Bauer in it.
No,
it stars Keith Sutherland playing basically Jack Bauer, but he's the president.
I don't care. I want more 24 with Jack Bauer because they left it on a fucking cliffhanger.
If you want the
they left
24.
the series on a fucking cliffhanger and they're not going to continue it with him because they said he's not going to be in the next one. Well, what the fuck happened to Jack?
This is why I stopped watching 24.
Well, he's dead then.
No, he's not. He's just cliffhangered.
He's literally hanging off a cliff. Well, Tom Cruise will save
him.
Damn,
watch fucking Designated Survivor. It's really good.
All right. I mean, I've got 8 days worth of 24 to get through first.
Wait, look, it's only 4 episodes now.
It's less than that because you take out the commercials, so you can get through
I like
every 45 minutes.
I like to start a stopwatch and wait the actual commercials out. I want it to be real-time, motherfucker. Did you know 24 was originally a romantic comedy, the original pitch? It was a romantic comedy with 24 hours leading up to a wedding day.
Oh.
I want them to do a new series where they just bring that back in, but they just keep all the violence and the terrorism or whatever. But there's also a romantic comedy leading up to a wedding. Kim Bauer is getting married in 24 hours, and Jack Bauer has to arrange that, be the father of the bride, and also save the world from the terrorists.
And then a guy in roller skates comes and just steals Kim Bauer away. Ooh, obscure happy endings reference.
The terrorists then steal the cake because they're going to try and smuggle the bomb into Waterloo in the cake.
The Wrong Man's is quite a lot like that. Have you ever seen The Wrong Man's with...
The what?
It's called The Wrong Man's. It was on BBC.
The Wrong Man's.
Yeah, it was like...
It is. That is correct.
What's his face? It's Thingy and the other guy.
James Corden and Matthew.
Twatty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Matthew
I don't
Bates-
like Corden.
Bateman.
I honestly don't. I've never enjoyed
I don't
Corden.
mind Corden.
Him. He's very good in Doctor Who and nothing else really. But he's okay in this. He kind of fits the character.
Hulu original series.
What the hell's a Hulu original series?
Well, apparently, No Man's apparently was.
It's one of those things. It's like how
It's on
Machinima
Netflix.
is apparently remaking Knight Rider.
It was produced by the BBC and Hulu.
What?
Ah.
What? Am I in that? Can I be? Can I be the
I don't
cat?
know. It sounds like a really good way to spend a lot of money and have nobody watch it.
There's a problem with Knight Rider. Is that every episode was like, oh shit, what do we do? How about you push the button that you push at the end of every episode that makes me go really fast? Oh yeah, boop. And then win.
Yeah.
It's like literally,
Yeah,
he
apparently
gets, like, one blue shell
Machinima is making their own Knight Rider, which strikes me as, very expensive and no one's going to watch it, because no one watches anything on Machinima. Just look at Machinima's channel. Nobody watches anything on it. They spend a ton of money making a Transformers series and basically nobody watched it.
They made a Transformers series?
Yeah, they did. It ran at a smooth 20 frames a second and made everyone who watched it feel sick.
So it was a AAA Transformers series. Wa-na-na-na-na-na. Sorry, it's been
Genuinely, they made an animation, but they said, how are we going to... Oh, this is too expensive. How are we going to save some money? Well, you know how we were talking about 25 frames a second? If we made it 20, could we save 20% of the budget?
Doesn't, anime run really low frame rates? I thought
Well,
that was
some
the
bits
thing.
of it does. Some bits of it.
I
does.
just think I remember, watching anime going, why didn't you bother
It
to
does.
animate this?
It does. A lot of the Batman animated ones, they do it where they look really smooth, and then there'll be an occasional scene which is 1 frame a second, and it just is really glaring.
Are you sure that's not just Batman pausing dramatically for effect?
No, it's like there'll be a walking animation, and clearly the animator went,
Yeah, it just...
This is that
it's got
important.
one keyframe, then it flashes up, Korea, fill this in, and just flashes back to the keyframe.
Essentially, and in some movies it actually really does lower them a point because it's so jarring.
Nice.
It's a shame really because you just get the occasional smooth. They're walking and it's they're the entire walking animation is 3 frames. You know, just their leg backwards, their leg in the middle, and then forwards, and they just went, just do that.
Loop
really.
that with the Scooby-Doo background. We're done here.
Yeah,
That's
basically.
that's the art budget done.
Oh, basically.
Yeah.
Which I want to point out, I am steering the conversation towards the Batman.
Yeah, I've noticed that, and I'm going to steer it away by saying Class isn't aimed for me, and I'm not going to watch it. And normally anything in the Doctor universe I would watch, I suffered through Torchwood's, all of it, Miracle Day included. I got through that.
Who's it targeted at then?
I don't know.
Who is the audience? Is it younger than you, or older than you, or female than you?
Younger than
Female.
me. Nothing's femaler than me, John.
A female.
Yeah, femaler than you.
It's younger
More
than me.
feminine.
Gender is a spectrum, Matt. You
Yeah, more-
fucking
yeah, that's why
backwards
it's-
twat.
Right, it feels like it's
That's why I say
aimed at
more
that
feminine.
bit that I skipped because I was like a child doodling, and then I was 85, and then I made that jump. At some point, someday I was I was kind of hey, blocks, and I'm yay, Lego, and that was the jump that I made. And I don't have that angsty shouting at your parents middle section that I don't understand. That what's her face, Jacqueline Wilson writes about all the time. You know, I don't have YA. I never read a book with YA written on the side of it in my life. I don't understand young adult. I understand family.
Oh, that's what it means.
Yeah, I understand family, and I understand sort of grown-up stuff, because it's normally kid stuff, but with tits. But I don't understand this middle section where everyone's just angry at each other all the times, and they're growing pubes, and they're pubes! You know, that's...
Hormones! I've got hormones! God
Yeah,
damn,
it's
I'm
like
sorry.
that one book of Harry Potter where you just want to get in the book and twat him, because he's being such an unlikable cunthole for the whole
Yeah.
book. He's everything sucks. I'm dude, you got fucking magic powers, right? Just magic yourself a gingerbread house and eat the fucking thing. Shut
They totally
the
could,
fuck up.
though. I mean, there's no laws in the universe that say you can't just magic yourself
Yeah.
and eat into it.
Just-
Yes,
magic
there
the
is.
fucking
As
thing.
was clearly made clear in Book 7, there are laws about kind of mass conservation in the Harry Potter universe.
Yeah. Introduce
off,
that.
John.
a little
Hermione
bit
clearly
fucking
stated she can't just invent food out of nothing. It has to come from somewhere. There are some basic
Alright,
physical
turn
mass
Ron
rules.
into a big gingerbread man and eat Ron.
That would be more useful than Ron, yes.
Yeah, just magic a brick at a time. Just have a ginger.
Admittedly,
Hogwarts
the
become
logical
gingerbread.
answer to the mass thing would be, okay, Hermione, we're in a forest surrounded by trees. Turn one of the fucking trees into food, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but alright, even if you don't can't magic it yourself, go down to the fucking kitchens and just magic everything into the right pots and pans. Magic fire at your fucking one. Boom, we'll be done 10 minutes.
Here's a question.
You dumb
Here's a
fuck.
question. Right. If right, you had the choice to have the power to piss any sort of breaded item, right?
Any
Like
breaded
magic.
item.
What? That sounds incredibly painful.
What, like breaded chicken?
No.
I
No,
would not
no,
like to.
no,
I would
I
not
wanna
like
clarify
to
this.
urinate out a baguette.
No, I need to clarify this. It's more like a
Especially
replicator.
not
that's
sideways.
incredibly painful.
No, let me finish. It's more like a replicator in that when your piss hits an object, then it turns into bread. It's not like bread comes out your urethra.
So basically, you have to eat a puddle of bread.
No, it's just
Like
becomes
naan.
bread.
If I piss on the floor, it becomes a naan.
No, it just becomes whatever bread you want. Just let's go ahead.
Right,
Look,
hang on. I quite like knobbies, and I like them both ends of the knobby at the end of the bread. But how would I know when to form the knobby bit?
it's just magic.
How do I determine
magic
whether
would-
it becomes white or brown bread?
This magic knows exactly what I want, does it? And it knows how
Yeah,
much
no,
I'm
you
going to
just
piss.
you
'cause I
think
don't
about
even
what
know
bread
that.
you want, and then you piss, and then the piss becomes the bread.
So
Does
my
my number one
bladder is
become white?
magic.
Yes.
My bladder is magic.
Okay, yeah, but here's the hypothetical, right? Any bread, like pizzas, bagel, anything, But right, here's
Hang
the
on, plain pizzas or pizza with all the toppings and cooked and hot?
yeah, that pizza with all toppings and cooked and hot.
Is it hot
right?
when it comes out your dick?
No, it's hot
No,
when
it's
it turns into
it's
the...
urine till it hits whatever you're urinating on. That was the
Yes.
rule we established.
Do you get
Yes.
like different like size of things you can do with different genitalia? Like can a male one get more detail and women one? That's more like a 3D print of the female.
No,
isn't
it's
like a
just-
spray.
it's-
do you need
look, it's-
stencils? Is that,
How
is
far
that the
can we
one?
Look, it's
How
the
far
lim-
can we take the rules of what can be the pizza? Can I want a diamond pizza, urinate out the pizza, it becomes a diamond top pizza, then I take the diamonds off and sell them?
No, it's limited to actual edible items.
Okay, what if I like got loads of
Okay,
like
what
fucking
about
star
truffles?
anise and
Valuable
truffles
words
and
like
shit,
truffles.
and
Yeah,
saffron?
truffles.
You could do that, yeah.
Saffron.
No,
yeah, that's
but-
worth a
no,
fuck
but,
ton.
but here's
Shit,
the
I'd be
catch,
so
right?
fucking
No,
rich.
Here's the catch, right? Here's the catch.
You
can
don't
do
think
that,
the
but
catch is pissing a hot pepperoni pizza at your dick?
No, the catch.
Every time, like 3 in the morning, you're like, oh shit, you start pissing, and there's a fucking baguette. You're like,
No,
gotta get rid
no.
of that
How do you
fucking
explain
thing
that to
now.
the plumber when the emergency plumber comes out and the toilet's bunged up with pizzas?
No, it's not. No, you can
What
also
if you get a
piss if you want
UTI
to.
and you feel like you need to piss all the time? You start forming bread. Is that how you get yeast infections?
Yes,
could
but no.
be.
Look. Just follow me here, right? It's either that, right? But if you have that magical superpower of having unlimited bread of whatever your choice is, you want a bagel, bam, bagel.
Is it just
bagel.
piss? No other body fluids?
No, just piss. And
Why?
but-
Is it because is it any? Because you can choose loads of different types of water. Is it actually like what causes it?
just your bladder.
Does
Your
how
bladder forms it.
concentrated your urine is affect the bread in any way?
Yeah, if I don't
No,
drink, do I
no.
get a stronger flavour?
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
You just whatever you want. It just your piss turns into it.
What?
It's-
Okay,
it's-
what if, right, I'm being drug tested.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Right,
That
if
is.
it's a drug
What if the
test,
doctor needs
what
a
if I-
urine test?
Yeah, what if I piss out and go, I want to have urine that doesn't have drugs in it?
That'll work.
Wow.
If you
So,
just go up
look,
to the front of the
So,
GP
okay,
clinic
so
with a little
we
cup
can't
filled with a
make
pizza.
diamonds, but we can have, like, different piss. We can just piss out, we can choose
No,
a piss.
you could just piss normally.
Did you go
and
to
piss-
Five Guys and see those vending machines
No.
that, like, make
No,
anything?
wait, hang on a
Go,
second.
"Oh."
Matt was saying only edible things, which this is basically Matt admitting he enjoys eating piss.
No,
Because he just
no,
allowed
no,
you
no,
to
no,
use
no,
it
no,
to
no.
piss and
Any of the
different
magic
piss.
things can
So
be
Matt considers
no,
piss edible.
John. Any of the magic
Matt,
things can be
that's
breaded.
disgusting.
No, John. Any of the magic things can be breaded items, or you can just say, I don't want to make bread and just piss your normal piss. Right?
Well, but you just said
change
I
the
could piss
into-
special drug-free piss.
No,
Yes.
assuming
You
you don't have any
literally
drugs, you
said
can
I
piss
could do
drug-free
that.
piss. Like, assuming you don't eat drugs, Daniel, you can piss drug-free piss. But here's the
Oh,
catch,
well, that's
right?
bullshit. I don't want this. No, fuck
No,
your catch.
no, this is the catch.
Yeah,
this
we
is
don't
the
care
catch.
about the
If you've
catch.
taken heroin, you piss a poppy seed bagel.
No. No, but here's the catch, right? If you have this magical breaded superpower, you can never have any sexual pleasure again. But, right, here's the catch as well.
I quit this.
But here's the catch. If you choose
No,
to have...
that's the catch enough for me. I'm
No,
fucked
here's-
off,
Yeah,
mate.
why are you
here's-
even
I'm gonna-
qualifying this
Look,
anymore?
I'll
I'm
bang
out
stuff
too.
and go to fucking Greg's, right? I'll
No,
be
no,
fine.
but
Exactly.
here's- no,
Accio
but
hot
here-
dog. Boom.
No, but here...
I can go down the street to Marks and Spencer's and buy a really nice fresh
No,
baguette for
but
75p.
here's the catch with the choosing the second one. The breaded items don't exist.
Whoa.
None of them. You can never have a breaded item again. No pizza, no bagels, no nothing.
That's fine. There's still pasta. Pasta's good.
Pasta's really good. I like pasta.
Yeah,
I'm
but you
not
couldn't have bread.
fanning.
You couldn't have bread.
Garlic bread, like, is the worst fucking thing. Like,
Yeah,
you can have, like, 20 bowls of pasta
this would be
or one
great
big
for
garlic
mankind.
bread.
How much would we save the NHS a year if we eliminated bread?
Yeah, but
We'd
like,
be heroes.
How we eliminated bread? Like, we'd have to get like major crop sources. A lot of people would starve to death. Like, we'd have to get
Not
really
that many,
finite amount
not
of
that many
crops.
people eat bread, really.
I'd say
A lot of people
fair
eat
few.
bread.
I'd
It's
say
like a
there's fair
basic
few. I'd
fundamental.
say flour gets used a lot. Do we not
Yeah.
have flour then?
Yeah,
Well, no,
can we just make like
Are we
other
losing
forms
cakes?
of like?
No, flour doesn't exist. Fuck you.
Flour, so there's no cakes, but we can't piss
You know.
cakes.
Okay,
that's
okay,
weird.
fine. Flour exists, but breaded items do not exist.
Oh,
And you cannot make the breaded items in normal ways.
Fucking do me.
You can't make croissants, you can't make pizzas, you can't
I
make
know, I've got
bagels.
flour.
Why? Does the flour object?
Yeah, it objects. It's magic flour.
So, we've got flour, but it's magic flour.
Yeah, you don't have yeast.
No, I think you
No
need
yeast.
to take a urine test right now.
No yeast. You're not allowed yeast. Yeast is banned.
No.
How did this start? Where are you going
We were
with
talking
this?
about the new Doctor Who
Is this leading
spin-off.
into Bethesda news in some way?
You're talking about bread and magic. I don't know.
No, I want to know where's this going?
It's not
What
where you're
would
going
you choose,
anywhere.
Matt?
No, it's what would you choose? Would you choose a breadless sex life or a bread filled sexless
I
life?
think for the fact he's brought it up, Matt would very obviously want the breadful sexless life.
Clearly.
This is clearly why you've brought this
Matt's
up.
a
You're just
breadist.
kind of hoping we're going to agree with you so you feel less weird about it.
I like bread.
I want to make a self-raising joke, but I think it's... it feels like it's too set up with this. This feels like poor setup for one joke.
I like bread. Bread's
A little
good.
bit too much. It's clearly slightly too much.
Look, I eat bread
First
more than I
person to draw a
have
picture of
sex.
Matt pissing on himself and like bread forming wins £1 million from a charity of your choice. Wow. Things
Matt,
we've learned today that we didn't want to know.
Yeah,
A Halloween
there's-
episode already, is it?
There's quite a few things that you'll do in your life that you'll do more often than having sex. That doesn't mean you should want to start having those things magically happen through urination.
I
point where
totally
it gets
would.
weird.
You know what, John, if I could just go, I fancy a fucking croissant.
Oh, you
and piss out
fancy a croissant, do you, Matt? I think you're confusing your terms here.
Yeah. I mean, I have sex more often than I do my car tax, but I wouldn't want to be able to urine out car tax discs. You see, because I'm normal.
Yeah,
Right, let's not throw around slurs here. As much as Matt is a loaf sexual, he's still
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
We're
no, it's
all
not just
still
loaves of bread.
normal.
I mean, pizza, you can never
I'm
have
not sure
pizza
Matt
again.
is.
Pizza's good. You wouldn't want to give up pizza.
Why would we give pizza? It's got no yeast in it.
It's bread-based.
Yeah, but you can always make like
Any
yeast-free
doughs,
ones.
any bread-based doughs, any bready
So all
things.
cookies and biscuits are also included.
No, they're cookies. It's not bread.
That's dough based.
Yeah.
Bread-based
make
dough.
Like cookie dough. Does that mean
Yeah,
cookie
but
dough
bread,
ice cream doesn't
specifically
exist?
dough for bread. You're thinking a bit too much about the logistics of these magical bread pounds.
Oh no, I just
Well, I
think you
think you
haven't thought
fucking
about it
started
enough.
Leave my
Wow.
magical bread piss powers alone.
Wow. Well, I think actually what you've done here, Matt, is you've derailed the conversation so hard. I don't want to go back and make a summary. I just want to draw a thin veil over this.
Anyway, to the
should
Batman
we start
animated-
the Podcats again at this point?
Yeah, can we do another?
yeah, okay,
introduction?
That's fine.
Oh, it's time!
Good evening,
Matt's
ladies and
voice.
gentlemen, and welcome to the Nerd³ Podcats. You
I
haven't
want to piss
missed
bread.
anything.
I want to piss bread.
I'd like to point
No,
out.
no.
I'd like to point out that loaf sexual is now trending worldwide,
Oh right, yeah.
and
Oh, I made the Great British Bake Off song.
yeah. Oh, is that what that noise is in the background, Matt? Oh, I love me a loaf.
Matt's got a photo of that bread line up on his wall. He does things while he's looking at it.
Oh, I do. I really do.
But you can't.
Matt
Like,
likes
there's
the
no
bread
point
line.
to doing that. He just eats bread.
Bread.
The bread line was excellent.
I've got some paninis downstairs.
Oh, you pervert!
Ooh, baby. You know, like I'm not even gonna eat them. I'm just gonna like cut a little hole in them and
I
fuck
like how
them.
many cultures Matt has devastated with his magic bread. Like Mexican culture, like wraps don't exist anymore. Fucked. Just completely. You can't even make like quick bread. Everybody's gonna like cook proper bread and fail. And getting rid of bread's getting rid of like Jesus' fucking miracle wouldn't have been really impressive. I'm having some fish. What have you got now? More fish. Got to go with it, Jesus. I don't know. I got some
Your only
pornography.
justification. Your only justification for this could be if you're saying in the world where you urinate the bread continues to exist, but
Yeah,
in the
no,
world where
that
you
is-
can't
that
urinate
is
the
the
bread,
case, yeah.
there's no bread.
That is the case,
then
yeah, that
you
is
might say,
exactly the case.
actually, what I'm doing is I don't actually want to give up my sex life for the urinating bread ability, but I'm doing this because I'm saving millions of people from dying of
Oh
starvation.
no, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know because it's just one guy that pisses this weird thing.
Yeah, but
Like,
then the
he'd have
bread's
to do it in
around.
secret. He'd be like, ugh, oh god, what the fuck is this?
I mean, then
I mean, I
might,
really
like,
hope in third world countries actually go, oh, thank goodness, the grain has come in. We get, oh, but did you hear about that guy who pisses? I think that's really
I
tough.
think what happened is that last night, Matt had a dream about going to a third world village and just pissing in the face of the villagers. Just piss like, hey! That's why today he's suddenly going, yeah, bread and loaf, and that's what I think, and also pumping up charity a lot, if you haven't noticed.
Someone has made a picture of a bad stick man pissing a bagel.
Yeah! A bagel! Ooh, that's a hardcore one.
I love bread. Like, they missed the E.
Matt, we
And
can
the A
fucking
from
tell, but we think you also need a bit of help.
Leave me alone. I like bread.
Have you ever spoken to a professional about how much you like bread?
No, look, right, bagels. If the hole's not for my penis, what else is it for?
Well...
Wait, what?
Wow, okay. So,
wait, hang on.
Okay, can I kick Matt from the...
Go ahead, please.
Wow. I can't. I don't have that ability. God damn.
Also, I'm streaming. So.
He is streaming, so yeah. We just they'd not be able to hear us, but I think that's a blessing.
I'm hoping I've derailed the conversation enough to move on to the Batman movie.
No, I think you don't deserve to talk about anything to do with Batman.
I think yeah.
John, you wanted to talk about this. You like the look of it.
Yeah, but John doesn't want to be on your side right now.
Yeah, I really don't. I really don't.
Yeah.
It's true. Like, you know, when Ched Evans stands up and says something that might be very sensible about environmental concerns, I'm not going to agree with him anyway, because he's still Ched Evans.
Yeah. And when
I
Chris Evans stands up and says something about cars.
Yeah.
When Lee Evans stands up and says something, it's very funny.
There's some people you just, like, you know, you just don't want to stand up. Like, you know, Hitler had some really sensible views about fox hunting, but you don't want to dwell on that because people are going to start getting a bit weirded out by how you're praising Hitler.
Yeah. Which Matt is probably fine with. I mean, like...
Because you don't want to kind of begin a sentence. Yeah, I'm just saying that in some ways Hitler was right. You don't want to say that, really.
I mean,
and I feel that way about Matt at the moment.
So I kind of want to get porn videos and edit them to instead of having like the bow chicka bow wow music, I want to have like the Hovis theme from those old adverts.
Oh, you should play Civilization 6. It's full of the Hovis music.
John, someone pointed out on Twitter. Do you remember all those pictures I sent of me wearing a sexy bread costume?
Yes, I remember all the pictures of you. Oh, this all makes sense now. This has been going back months. You did genuinely send me sexy photos of you posed in bread-based outfits. That's not a lie. You had that as your pinned tweet for months. My God, this is actually true. This isn't just something Matt's doing as a bit. This podcast, his obsession with bread and sex is genuinely going back months.
There's a load of really sensual pictures of my like Nintendo me dressed up as like a loaf of bread.
I swear this is true. He did. This was months ago. This isn't a joke or a bit. This is actually Matt revealing a deeply personal, terrifying mental illness.
I'm Irish. What else do I have?
Potatoes. Why aren't you just sexually obsessed with potatoes?
Oh,
this feels like an after-school special. Is it because I talked about class and we are literally now after school? Is that what this is?
It is half term. It is half term.
I feel like we need an intervention.
It is as well. There's too many bloody young people around.
There are.
Don't you laugh.
I was in a small outdoors town suburb the other day, and it was the kind of place that, you know, everyone's voting for Brexit, that kind of place. And,
Are you alright, Matt?
I feel like
this is a safe space where you can talk about anything that you want. We are going to tell you how your bread fetishism has affected us.
Anyway, the only place that was still open was a McDonald's in a way that it was just full of kids. I couldn't even sit anywhere. Just kids. Fuck them. Kill them.
Fuck them. Kill them. Matt on kids. Wow.
Matt for president, 2022.
He's just going to be. He's trying to modify. What he really means is you know, wrap them in breadcrumbs, fuck them, kill them. That's what he's really thinking right now.
No, wrap them in breadcrumbs.
If like a kid ends up dead, or anyone ends up dead and like covered in breadcrumbs, just saying. At this point,
yeah. If anyone in anywhere in the world just shows up dead, covered in breadcrumbs, I'm suspect. Actually, I'm just check if this has ever happened.
Oh God, that's a weird thing to Google, isn't it?
Let's just check if this has actually ever happened. Hang on.
Oh, John's been banned.
John's been banned.
He's been banned. He's banned from the internet.
He's back. Oh my God. What are you doing, Matt? It feels like a horror episode where you're gradually taking control of the worst episode of this thing ever.
Someone's like drawing a picture of me as a stick man pissing onto my own head with a panini growing off my head.
It's been an hour, Matt, and you've only talked about bread.
I wanted to talk about Batman, but no, you didn't want to talk about Batman, no.
I can't find any evidence of corpses that have been found covered in breadcrumbs, but I am still looking.
Jesus.
Oh.
Christ.
There's something here about some weird deviant subculture in Swansea.
Matt, do you live in Swansea?
Have you ever been to Swansea?
Do you visit regularly?
No, unfortunately.
It feels like there might actually be some form of breadcrumb-related fetish cult community in Swansea. Have you considered going there? You might find like-minded people.
I mean, I have like-minded people in Ireland, frankly. I mean, they have like 3 bread aisles.
This feels very wrong. I feel
Are we talking about
uncomfortable for
Batman now?
everyone. No, I think we should continue to talk about the fact that you clearly have an issue here, Matt. We'd like to get to the bottom of it. Your bread fetishism has affected me in the following ways. Number one, you derailed a podcast that I had a lot of gaming news for. Like, there's a lot of gaming news right now.
Oh, yeah.
And you derailed that.
There is
pretty
actually
hard.
a lot,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, yeah, it's my fault. I'm the one who derails podcasts.
You did. You derailed that really, really
Not
hard.
John's lack of knowledge of anything
Well,
in
that's
the
because we
world.
ran out of fucking things to talk about. This week, there's actually been a shit ton of stuff.
Okay, go on.
Hang
that's
on,
fine.
Matt, I'm going to send you a picture now.
Oh, dear.
Through the chat. Can you tell me, like, how sexually alluring do you find that picture from 0 to 10? Put it on the stream for everyone.
Okay, yeah, I'm not going to put it on the stream.
Put it on the stream for everyone.
No, I'm
Put it
going
on
to
the stream for
describe.
everyone, Matt.
Well, no, because the people listening on SoundCloud are going to have to click, and it's very inconvenient, so I'm going to explain it.
Yeah.
Right? It is a picture of 2 loaves of bread on the floor, with a woman wearing high heels standing on the 2 loaves of bread.
Uh-huh. How does this make
How do you
fit
feel
here?
about this? I've been looking up bread fetishism. I've been finding quite a lot of interesting
thing?
stuff.
It's actually a thing.
Of course, it's a thing.
Oh, yeah.
You have it.
The picture is called breadstompingfetish.jpg.
Oh, I found something much, much better. Oh, don't worry.
Oh,
this
God.
one's much, much better. Here you go. There you go, Matt.
I get the
Oh,
feeling
no.
this isn't going to be one that's... Oh, my... That's not allowed on the stream.
No, that's not allowed. That's not allowed anywhere.
There.
That's not allowed anywhere. Though actually, I think that
Oh,
might
that
actually
is-
be Peter Capaldi.
I've been on the
that is-
internet this
oh,
week
dear.
and I've
Peter
discovered
Cap-
this.
I think I've actually found a picture of Peter Capaldi raping a baguette.
That is
That does look quite a bit like Peter Capaldi having sex with a baguette.
It's an
And
old
so
naked man.
this loop of conversation is closed.
It's okay. It's an old man naked
In
with a
part
baguette round the
2,
cock.
we'll talk about gaming news. We'll see you there.
Okay, I've got it.
Jesus fuck.
The fuck was that?
Can we just
I've lost-
can we just come
I
back
wasn't-
right now and be like, welcome back to part 2?
A lot
yeah.
of people are
Do you want
tweeting
to?
quick artwork of Matt having sex with Predator.
Do you actually want to do that?
Anybody need to get a drink or whiz or anything?
No, I'm fine.
I'm alright.
Alright, let's go straight back into part 2. Never mention the bread thing again.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to part 2 of the Nerd³ podcast.
Christ.
So, Last Guardian has gone gold.
Kind of. I was quite amused by the fact that it went gold, they then rapidly deleted the
I
tweet
know.
and then re-announced it had gone gold later.
Yeah, it's like they've gone gold and they're like, shit, did anybody put the level 3 boss in? Anybody put the level 3 boss in? And there's one guy's like, I did.
This just reaffirms to me Last Guardian. It makes me worried about it. The fact that they went gold, they said, oh shit, no, we're not ready. We're not actually ready after all. Roll it back. Quickly, someone keep program faster. Is it done yet? Nearly.
Actually, what they did was they made the master disc to work on the PS2. That's what they did. And they were like, "Oh fuck, we gotta change that. We gotta change that." Yeah, that's a little bit of news. I'm doing a little bit of news now to get this podcast back on track.
Yeah.
For those of you on the pod, that break was literally 3 seconds long. We just needed to throw cold water on ourselves and continue.
Well, actually, I think we all just need to throw cold water on Matt.
I'm not even thinking about that right now. Watch Dogs 2 looks fun. There's been
Actually,
some
it
gameplay
does.
and stuff. Watch Dogs 2. No towers in a Ubisoft game.
Yeah, the towers are gone.
You find stuff by exploring.
No.
And
Ubisoft
the
games?
people who've had their hands on
No.
it specifically saying that, like, you know, the very first mission in the game, they were just like, you know what, screw that, and they just sort of wandered off. And they just found lots of stuff. And they just explored and found stuff.
Yep.
No, though, but Ubisoft
And the game was
games...
just like, do whatever you want,
No,
whatever.
but Ubisoft games always look fun, and then you play them and you go,
Yeah, but very often I play
I
Ubisoft
don't know,
games and
I
actually
feel
play them
like-
and think, actually, I am having fun.
Yeah, but you're not a wild card, John.
No,
Yeah,
you're right,
but
I'm not a wild
feel like
card.
a lot of games go, we're open world, we're going to be gritty and serious. It doesn't work because everybody just fucks around open world. So having a fuck around in open world kind of game fits the series.
Yeah,
And they're going like, hey, we're going to fuck around.
works for me.
I think it's going to work. I think it's going to be good.
I genuinely think it could be good. I really enjoyed Watch Dogs 1.
I didn't.
I thought it was really good.
I thought it was a piece of shit. But no, I think it had a lot of problems, most of which were the terrible mission design. Like the one where it's like, hey, cross this bridge. I was to get to this other island, but I was just on that other island. Yeah, but you got to turn this bridge around by talking to this guy, but I was just on that other island. Yeah, you got to turn the bridge around, but I have a boat.
You literally can't swim over to the island. You have to turn the bridge over, which I always found really hilarious.
Yeah, it's a game that clearly designed itself for swimming not being a thing. Then they realised they had boats, and they went, shit.
Yep. It was kind of...
I will still forgive it everything, because convoys were fun, and I quite enjoyed using the security cameras.
I thought it was good. I did like the world, even though it was a bit gritty and dark.
John...
Yes.
John, that fucking... Dan, you like that? It's that game that's always on sale for like £1 on Steam and had all the water physics. What's it called?
Hydrophobia.
Hydrophobia. Yeah, Hydrophobia had the camera thing, John.
Ooh,
What's it about?
It's you're trapped in a ship.
That's really good.
And it's flooding.
No, it's not. It's not good. They've got really good water physics, and I always confuse that for a good game.
Yeah, and it has some interesting water physics-based puzzles, but most of the game is shit. But it's like £1 on Steam. But it has the camera jumping thing that Watch Dogs did, and that's how you solve some of the puzzles.
Okay, so it's got one mechanism I enjoyed in one game, and otherwise it's shit, is what you're saying.
That was the one mechanism you just pointed out, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's not really a mechanism, really, is it? It's more like a UI.
Yeah.
It's more like... Fine.
Wow.
You're not exactly selling me on hydrophobia there,
Do you think... Right.
Starts with a jump scare. It's got terrible climbing. It has... What I like about it is it's got water that rises as you're running through. You're on like a thing that's sinking or some shit.
It's a game if you can get for like 60 pence, which you can, you might as well.
Yeah, so it's kind of, you have like scenes where the water's like coming in, so for the first time through a corridor you're absolutely fine, and then the water's higher, so you're getting slower through it, and then the last few times you're swimming through it because the water's getting higher, and all this happens across the space of like 5 minutes. So it actually gets quite tense because it's water rising, and you've got a lot of underwater combat with guns and stuff.
It's proper water physics as well. It's not
like... it features a girl that's afraid of water or some shit, I can't remember.
If you get it for like 60 pence, play like the first hour, you go, oh, it's interesting, and then you go, this game's not very good, and then you stop.
Yeah, it's a good tech demo. It's a good tech demo of some interesting water. It's very old now. I think, though.
Might be fun as a one-off video, sure. I might look at that at some point.
Yeah. There we go.
Right.
Evolve is dead!
Hey! Really?
Yay.
I thought they just went free to play with that shit.
Yeah, then they decided, screw it, maybe that's not working.
What, really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
2K's basically said, we're done with this.
2K. They're fun.
Good old 2K. Basically said they're pretty much done with it. Apparently, like they claim the servers are going to be left on, but there's not going to be any more updates or anything, or any more new content.
Oh, so the servers will
be
off in
you're
6
right.
months,
Like
then.
literally, it felt like very recently they did say, "Hey, we've gone free to play," and then they announced, "Hey, we've got all these new players." But apparently, all the new players have wandered off, and it's down to like 1,700 players or something.
But it's because the game's just not that interesting, really.
I mean, well, it's an interesting idea. I like asymmetrical games, and one player playing a massive monster and the other team being like a team of people who needs to bring it down. That's fundamentally sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, but it wasn't
That's
balanced
a good
particularly
concept.
well. It wasn't balanced particularly well, and nobody really cared to play it for more because it's the one concept, isn't it?
I literally got it very early. I got a review copy of it, I believe, and I've not played it. I never got round to it, and now it's dead.
It's just,
Alright,
just something about it just isn't. Like, I played it, and it's just like, well, this is...
I never played it, but I saw a lot of footage of it, and like all the footage I saw, it did just look like the team who were playing as the Monster Hunters just seemed like they were playing a fairly uninteresting generic shooter, and the guy who was playing the monster just seemed to be kind of grinding a fair bit and not doing anything.
That was
it just seemed to be that interesting. Neither side had anything that interesting to do. It all felt very generic, which is a monster hunting killing game shouldn't be generic. It should be big and exciting and full of roars and screams and stuff.
And it wasn't. Monster Hunter games very rarely are. Oh! We had some interesting PS4 Pro news. They've said.
You mean the PS4 Fat?
Yes, the PS4 Fat. They've said how much RAM it has. It has an extra gigabyte of RAM.
Wow.
Which brings the total of how much RAM it has to 5.5 gigabytes of usable by developers. The rest is used to keeping all the systems and stuff running.
It's not.
They've added a gig,
disaster.
but only 512 of that gets added on to actual developers to use. So it's an extra half a gigabyte for developers to use.
It's a modest step up.
It's a 10% step up, is what it's been calculated to be with all of its updates. And
yeah,
stuff.
but let's be honest. In terms of like the effect we're going to see on the screen, you're not going to think it's a 10% step up. It's going to look smaller than that. In the modern evolution AAA gaming, we are into very marginal gains below 10% up every time.
Yep. Unless it's VR.
We're well into diminishing.
Maybe it'll make VR actually track, but who the fuck knows?
No.
Just.
I mean, if they're using light like they are, it's never going to track properly.
No, I don't think it ever will. I tried so many different setups for that video. That video I just kept trying to set. I had it pointed in loads of different directions. That was the only way I could really fit it in my room, but that was the best angle for it, and you just saw all the problems I was having with it. But even if the tracking's good, if I turn around, or I put my hands in front of my face, which actually happened organically in the Job Simulator gameplay, then it just
pick up and look at stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, picking up and looking at the thing. Oh no, I can't see.
Like someone after the video, somebody did send an email like, oh, very sorry you had problems, and it was a big like list of like how to fix problems. It's like its example of how it's set up is such a specific setup. It's the fucking like set. It's the movie set version of a living room. Yeah, and it expects it to work in. It's like what?
Yeah, no, I live in that. I live in a very busy office and things. I mean, I could say I could with Job Simulator, I had to be 6 feet away from the camera for optimum thing, and I was standing in the optimum place, but that puts me in the back corner. So as you saw in the video, I kept hitting my fucking hand on things.
Okay, you know the Kinect. You know when the Kinect originally came out. You know all the fucking things. Like, look at this massive living. It's made for like massive American living rooms. That's what these are made for.
Yeah.
And it ignores like.
And what's
Europe
weird is it sold a
South America
shite ton in Japan.
Yeah.
And Japanese houses are
tiny.
So small. So fucking tiny. I've never seen a big Japanese house. Ever. Anytime I've ever seen a Japanese person, like, okay, here's the... Like, a lot of YouTube and stuff, and there's YouTubers that go out to live in Japan, they're like, okay, so here's my apartment, it's 1 room. Everything's mushed into this, like, 2x1 meter area, and apparently, like, they sold a shite ton of copies of it. A lot of people saying that you need less room if you're playing a seated down game, but I was comparing it to a game that already existed that I could play absolutely fine because I can.
I mean, on one hand,
because that's what VR's best at.
It is best at that, but at the same time, it is a little unfair to compare, obviously, a like £600 experience to a £2,000 experience. You know.
Yeah, but the game wasn't bad. The graphics were fine. Like, the actual VR stuff worked fine. It's literally just the tracking. If they had got a better tracking system, or maybe like a second camera you could set up somewhere, or any kind of reader that would actually track it properly, it would have been
do what the Oculus does. Do what the Oculus
better.
does. The Oculus' tracking would be perfect for the PlayStation VR.
Yeah, just update the fucking tracking. The problem is it's using such shite old technology, like the PlayStation camera, which was developed for the PS3, and the Move controls, which was developed for the PS3. And they're just shite. I mean, at one point in the video, and I cut this out because I couldn't adequately explain what was going on, the controller's accelerometer got fucked. And it was kind of at an angle, and it couldn't work out which way I was round, so it was like off at like 90 degrees. So it looked like I'm holding it the wrong way, going, oh, it's broken, so I didn't put it in, but it genuinely just went off at like 90 degrees. And I was like, okay, I don't know how to put this together at all. How does this work? I had to reset the whole game, which was fun. Yeah, PSVR, it's just... And also, so many fucking games have jump scares. That fucking Batman thing, Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
It's just nightmares. It's endless nightmares, or it's seated down things, and seated down things I just don't enjoy. Just don't care for them. I mean, they're immersive as dick, but I think the best thing about VR is that I really enjoyed in the whatever racing game I played for the Vive when I just budged over to a different seat in the car. That was fun.
Yeah.
I like doing stuff. I like that I've got the options to do that.
I mean, with PlayStation VR, I think it is nice having a lower budget option, because obviously the Vive and the Oculus are very expensive.
That's true, but I wish they made it $100 more expensive and stuff. Because the cheapest part of the Vive is those 2 little things that you plug in.
Yeah.
Cheapest part of the Vive. So for sale, let's think, I know you got to whack more gear in the actual headset itself, but you could just do a lower version of just have like 2 cameras either side. Just do the same thing, but just have more of it.
Yeah. Well, I'd say what the Oculus does, where it just has the one fucking tracking thing camera.
Yeah.
Which looks at you, and that's like designed for the same use case as the PSVR.
Yeah.
Like, the tech's not that expensive. It's been used for years. They just didn't want to have to make new controllers or cameras. Like, they already had that. We just use these.
Yeah. They want to make it as cheap as possible.
I'm happy with them making it as cheap and accessible as possible, because it will just introduce people to VR, and then if they like it, they will go over to more expensive, better versions later.
How's it going to introduce people to VR when it costs £5 to test the fucking thing in that scum of a store game?
Okay, right. I can kind of see the justification for that, even though it's still kind of scummy.
No, it's super scummy. It's the dumbest, stupidest fucking thing. For those of you who don't know, our biggest, the retailer of games here in the UK has decided that you have to pay £5 to get 10 minutes on the Vive.
Okay, the PSVR.
Yeah, fuck it, the PSVR.
But right, okay, just think of a better way to do this, because obviously, if they had it for free, people are just going to come in and it's just going to be a VR arcade and people are just going to go try it and have fun. And clearly...
Yeah, what would that do?
And a store called Game could never have that. People coming into their store and having fun.
No,
they had to stamp that shit out.
So that's more people in your store. That's more people talking about the PSVR, which they have a nice big markup on. That seems like they're net positives for just running one PlayStation and one VR.
And they're having a good time. Get the water cannons.
No, but what it does, cause they need a full-time staff member to handle it.
Yeah, so how do you get money for staff members? Sell things! What's the best way of selling things? Having people inside your store!
Okay, hang on. Stop a second.
Stopping.
What the fuck is that noise?
What noise?
One of you is going...
That's my side.
What are you doing?
Noise.
I'm not doing anything. Okay,
clanging a ruler.
The flat beneath us has, I think it's either their washing machine or their boiler. Occasionally vibrates slightly.
Great.
And comes through the floor.
Really annoying. It's really...
I just like the idea
the
John's just sitting there going, hey.
Okay, I've slightly insulated the microphone a bit. Should be fine now.
Thank you, John.
Good.
No, right, yeah. But no, that's a fair point, actually, that I haven't seen before, and the idea of just getting more people in your store.
Yeah, you're getting, like, oh no, people want to come into game. And
that's
test
the biggest
the
problem
thing.
Game faces. No one can be bothered.
That's true, yeah.
Like
true.
years ago, remember, because Game actually went bankrupt, and they actually went into administration, had to be completely reformed.
Yes,
and shortly after that happened, I actually saw one of the higher ups at Game give a speech at a big conference I was at. This was before I was a YouTuber. And they were saying, like, one of the big things, the biggest, most immediate problem they had was people are buying stuff online. How do we convince people to actually come into our store when online's so much more convenient and often cheaper?
VR, which is the one thing
and they
you
said,
have
we've
to
got to
and
do
try.
community-ish stuff, that there's, like, experiential stuff, so people actually have a reason to come into a store that they can't get online. And this is exactly that.
The one thing. It's the one thing you have to try in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need people to try it. If they want to sell PSVRs, they need people to try it. That £5,
if they say you
£5 is going to put off so many purchases. It's kicked loads of people out of stores. It's such a stupid fucking choice.
If they could say that you could actually, like, I would, if they said afterwards, like, it's £5 for this, but then if you buy anything, not even just VR, anything in this store, you can have £5 credit against anything you buy in this store if you buy something in the same session you're in store. I think that would be a lot more acceptable.
But that's the halfway house.
Because that filters out the
people.
time wasters and the people who are just going to come in for just because they want to try it but have no intention of buying. And I guess I felt that would be a little bit
what's
better.
a time waster?
It's
Someone
a bit
who you
better.
stick in a queue and wait, what's in that queue? Oh, look, there's loads of games and things. What I would do is I'd have a queue and I'd have a few arcade cabinets with the latest games going. Just have a few consoles set up, so while people are waiting, they can then be playing Battlefield 1, they can be playing Mafia 3, they can be playing what's new and what's out, and sell more fucking copies of that stuff.
Yeah, but at what point does that just become literally a place someone goes for an hour to play games and leave with no intention of buying anything?
It's a store called Game!
Yeah, but it's meant to sell games, it's not an arcade.
But that's the thing, right? If you go into...
You know what you sound like right now, Matt? You sound like someone who owns a bakery who's objecting to bread being in there.
Don't mention bread!
You're like the bakery that says, I don't want bread fetishists in here, but then you'd have experience with bakeries kicking you out, wouldn't you, Matt?
I just think it's...
How many bakeries around Liverpool are you barred from, by the way? How many? If you had to put a number on it, just round to the nearest 100.
Having people in your store is always a good thing. If you go,
Unless
they're
they're
time
Macs.
wasters, they're time wasting on a console that costs you pennies a day. That's pretty much it.
It's not the cost, though. If they're going on it for 10 minutes, it does, if because it'd be full then, wouldn't it? If it's free, and you're going on for 10 minutes at a time.
Yeah, we'll make it free, and then book it. Go online and book it, or go in a store to book a slot.
Oh, yeah, fair. Book a slot, have stuff and thing, or if it's paid for, like John, at the very least, if it's paid for, like John says, give it credit for editing.
I'd like to point out that the game closest to me has a PSVR, and I've never seen anyone on it, or anyone near it, or anyone in game ever.
The online booking is actually nice because then you're actually building a list of email addresses of people who are interested in VR, and then you can try and upsell them to PSVR later, even if they don't necessarily buy it in store at that time.
Yep,
great idea.
That's very useful to the actual central office for game.
And John knows what he's talking about.
I do.
Yeah.
That's the first place my mind went. How could evil marketing use this?
I think it's a very game thing to do. Go, quick, let's be as short-sighted as possible! And then succeeding.
No.
Let's go bankrupt again! Yay!
Honestly, with this being something that they're doing, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next few months we see game going bankrupt again.
It's interesting because you see sort of physical media in the way that HMV and Game, which are the two, I suppose, biggest media resellers in the country.
Hang on, you might have to explain what HMV were for the younger viewers.
HMV shut down!
And potentially for Americans.
Wait, HMV
His
shut
master's
down?
voice. It shut down. A lot of their stores closed.
Jesus.
About 2010 or thereabouts, maybe a little bit later.
They almost closed down completely, and then I think they got bought out or something, and some of their stores stayed open. I'm not entirely sure.
I think they're all gone now.
No, there's there's still a big HMV in Liverpool. Huge one.
Wow, Liverpool is just the land that time forgot. It's not that they're supposed to be one, it's just that everyone forgot it was there.
I think HMV might have moved to...
The staff just kind of keeps showing up. Payroll just kind of keeps ticking over from the leftover funds when all the assets were liquidated.
Still
saying the staff just going to...
It's all Sega Mega Drives games in there.
Yeah, exactly.
The best of Michael Jackson's just his first CD.
Oh yeah, no, they still got a couple of stores in London.
It's all vinyl.
Like they still exist.
The big one on Oxford Street went long ago because I was replaced with a Sports Direct. I used to work on Oxford Street.
Apparently there's still one on Oxford Street. The HMV website still says one on Oxford Street.
Yeah.
Where? I think you mean the one on... It could be the one on Bond Street, but the big one... The flagship store on Oxford Street is long gone. Because I saw it being replaced by a Sports Direct.
Maybe, I don't know. Right now, on Google Maps, on the thing, it says it's on Oxford Street, next to Bond Street Station.
What would be Bond Street then, wouldn't it?
Well, yes, that's Bond Street, isn't it?
No,
next to Bond Street Station will be the Bond Street one.
No, it's on fucking Oxford Street, and it's detailed as HMV 363 Oxford Street. Fuck you, John.
Sorry, you're saying that Bond Street Station isn't on Bond Street?
No, I'm saying it's next to Bond Street Station.
Yeah, but what street do you think Bond Street Station is on,
Well,
Matt?
this station exit's on fucking Oxford Street.
You're saying that Bond Street Station's on Oxford Street, not Bond Street.
Fuck you, John. This is where the exit is.
Matt, tell me what are the Monopoly properties that are on the greens?
Oh my god.
Oh, who gives a shit? The Greens are the worst. The Greens are the Hitlers.
Because it doesn't go Regent Street, then Oxford Street, does it, Matt?
I'm looking at a map, John. I don't know what to
Well, I'm looking at a Monopoly board, Matt. And it doesn't have Oxford Street in the cocking greens.
I'm somewhere in between.
You're somewhere between a map and a Monopoly board.
I mean,
Yeah.
if John uses a Monopoly board to like get all his knowledge, that explains his fucking knowledge of cars and space, doesn't it? Really?
Mm-hmm. On Google Maps, the Oxford Street still has H Master's voice on it. Yeah.
Yeah. His master's voice, which is originally because the HMV logo is a record player next to a dog.
That's 2015. 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
There's some really fun stories about HMV because it's like, they are the epitome of hubris.
Hubris.
How they were. Like,
oh shit, I zoomed out, my Google Maps gone all weird in 3D. How fucking cool is that?
I know, the 3D stuff is awesome.
Oh, click the Earth. If you click the Earth one in the bottom right, it makes everything 3D. Like all the buildings and everything.
Because they absolutely refused to acknowledge that digital was going to become a problem. And like, there's like a few years before they like ran into huge trouble and everyone stopped buying CDs. There was one time they basically flew out the entire company to Spain and said there's a free bar for literally everyone.
I will point out, I've zoomed out of the Oxford Street HMV. It now says it's a Foot Locker.
Oh, good.
Oh, I thought it was a Sports Direct.
No, it says Foot Locker.
Maybe I never went inside. It was some form of sports shop.
Where's Hamleys? I'm gonna go play with Ham. Ah, it's so cool.
You are in 3D, aren't you? The Earth.
Yeah.
If you hold
now
control,
plug in the Vive.
Oh my god, I'm in London! Ah!
Yeah, if you sort of hold control and move around, it's all in 3D. It's really nice.
That's pretty cool.
For the most authentic experience, what you do is you kind of go up
been
to
stabbed!
Oxford Circus Station. You just go to Oxford Circus Station, and you stand outside, and then just kind of put on a little soundtrack that goes, "Due to overcrowding, this station has been closed. Please wait. Due to overcrowding, this station has been closed. Please wait." You just do that for about 20 minutes. And then you get the real authentic. Yeah. Real authentic London experience.
Then you gotta buy a shitty hat with like...
Yeah. Then you get someone to punch you in the face and take your
Prince's
wallet.
face on it.
Yeah.
I've never been killed in London yet, though, so...
That's
On
true.
the subject
I
of
was
people
never killed
punching you in the face, apparently...
Don't say Batman!
Apparently...
He does punch bad guys in the face a lot.
He does. Apparently, we're wild cards.
We are!
I'm not a wild card.
You're not a wild card. You're a fucking goody two-shoes piece of shit. But,
I am.
You know, people with actual opinions, John.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Only shitting on things as an actual opinion, I see.
Fuck you, John.
Oh, shit.
Dan, go on.
Where am I going?
You know.
Do I?
Talk about how much of a wild card you are, Dan.
Wildcard, bitches! I've cut the podcast breaks. Oh. So...
Just Dan and Jim Sterling put on their leather jackets, get on their motorcycles and rev off into the distance on their Harleys.
So Bethesda...
Rebels without review code.
Bethesda...
Just to clarify before this as well, like, as the PR person, I've always had a good PR relationship with Bethesda, which is why I think this is more surprising. Go on.
So Bethesda have announced a new policy.
Mm-hmm.
Shall I actually read the actual policy? I'm gonna track down the policy. I'm not even gonna summarize it. I'm gonna read the whole thing out. First I have to find it. This is how good I am. Oh god, you got age gate? It's a fucking policy.
The entire Bethesda site is age gated no matter what. It's
Really
very
annoying.
annoying.
One.
It doesn't cache it either, and every time you go there and ask
Yeah,
them,
every single
One.
time. So
sorry.
annoying.
Good. That's just so you don't have to go into this. Here we go. I'm going to annotate this as I go, I think. Bethesda and game reviews. That's the title. At Bethesda, we value media reviews.
Ha 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 ha!
Thank you. We read them, we watch them, we try and learn from them when they offer critique. Is that a full stop? And then the next sentence starts with and. Fucking hell, Bethesda.
Ooh.
And we understand their value to our players. Earlier this year, we released Doom! It's in all caps. We sent review copies to arrive the day before launch, which led to speculation about the quality of the game. That's because 99% of the time when you leave a game to the day before, on the day, or the day after launch, it's a pile of shite. Since then, Doom has emerged as a critical and commercial hit, and is now one of the highest rated shooters of the past few years.
I can believe that.
True.
It was very good.
That's true. It's a good game. With the upcoming launches of Skyrim Special Edition and Dishonored 2, we will continue our policy of sending media review copies one day before release. One day before release. Reviewers get 1 day before release.
And reviewers very often have to do things like, editing and rendering too. So it's not like we get a full day.
A lot of reviews as well. Like, the whole point of a lot of actual reviews is they play the whole game and they review the game.
Yeah.
You need more than a day to play the whole game.
Skyrim Special Edition. Yeah, you can fit Skyrim in a day. How many hours do you have in Skyrim, anybody there?
I've got, I think, 90 hours in Skyrim.
Could you do 90 hours
Couple
in a
of
day?
hundred.
Yeah.
Don't think so, no.
Interesting. While we will continue to work with media, streamers, and YouTubers to support their coverage, both before and after release, we want everyone, including those in the media, to experience our games at the same time. That much spin actually is a danger to kicking the Earth out of its orbit.
No,
that is Tory party governing Britain at the moment levels of spin.
You see, the funny thing about that, right, is when the Fallout 4 review copies went out, and they went out like a good 2 weeks, week and a half before launch, it was very big embargo, whole thing. It wasn't an issue. There was no issue with the Fallout. I don't think there was any issue at all with the Fallout 4 reviews. Everyone was happy with them. They said, no reviews. Don't put them up until like a couple of days, a day before. I think 2 days before the game was out, which is fine because it's a very heavy story-based game. And it was all good. And the reviews came out, and everyone was happy, and there was no problem with it. And Bethesda have always been good for review codes. They have a very good PR team, or at least the British people I deal with.
Yeah.
And it's... and some people have Skyrim, I want to point out.
Yeah, I'm not finished reading this thing yet.
Okay.
It's the last bit that I hate the most.
Ooh.
So it's the last line. It's, we also understand that some of you want to read reviews before making your decision, and if that's the case, we encourage you to wait for your favourite reviewers to share their thoughts. Okay, if you encourage to wait like that, why the fuck do you offer pre-order exclusives for things? Why do you have pre-order bonuses? Why do you have all of these things that actually don't do that? This whole thing is here's what we're saying, it's not what we're doing, but we're gonna say it. It irks me. This whole thing irks me. And yeah, so reviewers will now get copies of all of Bethesda games. We literally, last episode, we were like, hey, Bethesda's really good, and now we're just gonna have to cross those cuntholes off our list because god damn, this is just ridiculous. This is the most anti-consumer bullshit in the world. And you know what the worst thing about it is? It makes me look like a pile of shite. Because YouTubers have the game. If you go on YouTube, search Skyrim Special Edition, you'll find loads of videos on it. It's already out there. They've already got it. The reviewers, now they're going to get it the day before it comes out. But the people who are, like, influencers, and like that term, and accept money and suck anyone's dick for a fiver, they've got it. They've got their copies, and it kind of makes YouTubers become a shitty term, and it makes me really fucking hate what I do. It's not fun. This is not a good thing for anybody, except Bethesda. And if you disagree...
And to clarify as well, I sent a request in for a key for Skyrim Special Edition, is it? And they said tomorrow. Because I asked for clarification.
I'd also like to point out that EA did not send us Battlefield 1 codes. I bought it, tweeted that it was actually quite good, and then, hours later, got a Battlefield 1 review code.
Yeah.
After tweeting that it was good, they're like, oh, here's your code, guys.
He did apologise. Like, oh, sorry, I missed it. What do you mean you missed it?
So, apparently, according to Jim Sterling's video, certain YouTubers... personalities, etc., are referred to as wildcards and get greylisted. You see, we can actually... The companies have realised now that they can give the games to the right people who are hyped about it and don't really criticise things. Because I'm one of those YouTubers who goes along and criticises stuff, because I like to.
For
learn about it. I mean, John, you don't fucking criticise it. You only play what you love. That's probably why you still enjoy it.
It's like, there's a load of like stuff I play, and then like 40 minutes later I decide I'm not enjoying this, so I just turn off the recording and you never see it.
John, what about Journey, John? What about Journey?
that never happened. That was a mistake.
So yeah, I carry on recording.
Do not search for my video on Journey. Do not. You won't enjoy it.
I get angry as I go when I record. I like to play a thing, and if it's shit, I go, oh, that was shit, because people who are watching my videos want to know if that's a shit thing or not.
I'm willing to shit on No Man's Sky.
Everyone's shit.
But that just felt like I felt like I just wouldn't be part of the club if I hadn't done that.
Did I even do a No Man's Sky video?
We didn't get codes for it, so...
I bought it, though, to play it. Of course I didn't get fucking codes for it, no.
Wait, did you do a video?
I like that Sony gave me a PSVR, thanks. Sorry, I didn't care for it very much.
Like, okay, to clarify, like dev relationships are a bit weird.
Yeah, I don't have any. I do that all through Matt. Like, I need to stay independent to make my thoughts right, so I don't actually tangle myself in that at all.
Oh, shit.
I don't have those contacts.
But the thing is, like, I've known for a while that a lot of publishers do, like, have us grey-listed. And a lot of times, like, the difference between a grey-list and a blacklist is a blacklist is just they won't talk to you at all. It's like they just cut contact. Which, as a 2K have us blacklisted. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's a strange one. I did a whole, 2K16.e series and...
Yeah, I know. It's not even greylist, though. It's not like... Greylist is basically where they will talk to you and stuff, but generally they'll kind of either make you low priority for codes or just not bother.
Yeah.
Like, basically say, oh, we'll get you codes. Oh, because they get... Like, publishers, they have batches of codes that they give to their PR people. And then they have, like, whatever, 200 codes or whatever to give out to a certain region. And then they have to prioritize. And they'll just either make you low priority or they'll say, oh, sorry, I haven't got any code left.
Yeah.
So they'll talk to you and they'll be polite with you. But, they don't really give a shit about giving you codes.
Yeah.
And Ubisoft blacklist, 2K blacklist.
Why have Ubisoft blacklisted me? I don't understand that, apart from the fact I don't like any of their games. I always say they get the best E3 conference, because they tend to. They make the games that I think I'm going to enjoy the most, and then don't.
Yeah.
That's because you just love... What's her name?
Aisha Tyler.
Yeah, you're slightly in love with her.
I am more than just slightly in love with that.
I want to point out, like,
magnificent woman.
Ubisoft stopped talking to us after they were like, hey, do you want to come to France and see it, like, go to Assassin's Creed Unity Press event? And we're like, no.
Yeah, I don't do that shit. I don't.
I'm very polite when I decline those, by the way. I'm sorry, we don't really do those because
Oh, Matt feels sad with some of the shit I've made him decline over the years. Because my thing is, like, if you send me a code, great. That's how I do things. Review code, whatever. I've got so many fucking games. It'll just mean that I don't have to actually spend money on your thing, and it'll go on top of a pile. Well, go on top of a pile. It'll go on a pile before I have to start buying things to get a pile. But like, we always turn down like shit, like free shit. Like when they're like, "Hey, do you want a copy of Mafia 3 with a record player?"
I got two of those.
Unless it's like, yeah, fucking...
I'm giving them away at the moment. I'm giving it all away.
But unless it's something like PSVR, which is actually like...
Well, you need that. That's the actual thing you're reviewing.
You know, it's a proper, like, piece of kit. It's... like, you client stuff like that, but I don't know, like, generally you keep... I know I'm kind of a dick on thing, but, like, my actual professional stuff is actually pretty good. I'm quite courteous. But it's weird, like, it's yeah, kind of grey list. Bethesda, I'll say, lovely relation with Bethesda.
Yeah.
And it's just, again, it's, if they're not confident, like, if they're not sure, I think with Jim said, if they can't predict what your score will be, they won't really bother. Because someone like John, I say,
hello,
if you don't generally like a game, you just won't do it.
Yeah.
Or...
especially, well, if it's a AAA, I might. If it's an indie, I don't like shitting on indies. I feel like it's mean to shit on an indie studio because they've often got very small levels of resources and it might just be a small thing.
Digital homicide, though.
I'm willing to write off a lot of stuff. It's just like, I personally don't enjoy this, but it doesn't mean I'm going to slag it off as a bad game because it's not for me.
Well, no,
and it's not a genre I like doesn't mean it's objectively bad.
You can say,
it's not fair for me to present it as such.
Yeah, but you can say, I don't like this game, but you might. You can say that.
I do that on many occasions.
You do. But your content's a bit... Your content's different, frankly.
Yes.
You're
my content is cheery and happy.
Right.
Yeah, Dan's content is, I hate everything, fuck you.
No, and that was intentional. That was the plan all along. Because like when I started doing my channel, like at that point, that was probably like one of the biggest things on the internet for the angry British guy who hates everything. Was like a huge thing on the internet.
My channel started out in a happy, cheery way.
It did. But this is the thing.
You've got all of this to come.
This is the thing. John has very good relations for getting codes, and often he gets more codes than we do, even though he's like a much smaller channel, like in terms of actual subscriber rate.
Oh, sure, rub it in.
Well, no, but you do get more codes.
Yeah, well, I don't enjoy fucking croissants, so I've got that going for me.
You're dating a French girl.
I think you have some slightly confusing views about how French anatomy works.
I think, right, here's what happened.
I thought...
Just before this, Matt took LSD and watched that film Sausage Party, and now he doesn't know how to tell, like, humans and food apart.
All right.
What do you think of Seth
card.
Rogen, Matt?
He's a bit of a high guy, isn't he?
He's a bit of a high guy. Most people use the word tall, but he is very short, so...
No, and
do you think you're food, Matt? Let's not get into this.
All right, look. John is not a wild card. John generally will either be polite to a game or just not bother because he wants to keep a and that's fine. That's good content.
I think there is probably an advantage that, like, I don't know whether it is more of an advantage that I handle all those relationships myself, and thus, like, I know some of the PR people at the publishers personally.
Yeah.
And possibly, like, having someone who does it for you does create an element of distance that makes it harder to have a better relationship with them. I
like the distance though. If I have the friends, I'm like, I'll be nice to your game.
Do you think?
Well, actually, I wasn't because Mike Bithell released volume, and I was like, this is a bit shit, innit? Sorry, Mike.
Do you think though that like
it's much better after some patches? Yeah, that's my review volume. Much better now, but
okay, the PR relationship. Do you think that if, for example, it was direct, like let's say Dan, if you think it was direct, do you think they would feel they could manipulate you more by being friendly?
Oh, absolutely, of course they could. I mean, some of them by name and shit. I don't do that.
Oh, the thing is, some of them are lovely people.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's and if a lovely person gives me a game, going, "Hey, my job was to make people, get hands on this game," and I'm like, "Shit," that feels like it's a thing. So no, I like the cold distance. It lets me actually say what's worth playing. Battlefield 1's
and
worth
this
playing.
is it. Generally, like a lot of things come with review codes. Like there's a lot of information to play. Generally, with Dan, it's just here's the game, here's the code, bargained it, nothing else.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Good disconnect. But of course, that presents the problem. I think a lot of PR people don't like it because they maybe don't feel they can not manipulate, but influence you directly, perhaps. And
Who
obviously the wild
influences
card
the influencers?
But PR
Business
people.
people.
That rhymes, by which means it's actually the same word, just spelled
God's sake.
differently.
Fuck you, John. No, but it is. It's
Which
frustrating.
influences influencers?
It's frustrating because I think what was it? Jim Sterling said it's like, what if you don't? You're just gonna buy the game and shit on it anyway.
Yeah. That's what I
And
do.
it means that-
I paid £50 for Battlefield 1, or £40, whatever the fuck a real game is.
I also
Fucking
did.
worth it, though. It's a great game. I was really
That's the
surprised
thing.
at how much I liked it. I was like, because I haven't played a Battlefield for a while, because I didn't really get into 4, because I really enjoyed 3, and 4 just felt like more of the same. There was a nice big gap of Hardline, who gives a fuck. And this one's like, it's my Battlefield. It's just Battlefield. There's no World War One bullshit to it. But it's the map. It's fucking gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. I want to play more, but I'm currently editing a video of Sonic Utopia. Incidentally, best fucking Sonic game ever made. Holy fucking shit.
But this is the thing, right? It's like, I mean, really, publishers, they don't owe you anything, or they don't owe us anything, really, as press or anything. They don't owe you a free game.
No. But I am a very good tool of getting their games out there. And I'm also a very good tool of going, this is shit, don't buy it, to millions of people, potentially.
Well, this is it, and this having a policy like Bethesda has, it is anti-consumer.
I'm like you know what I am? You know what I am? I am kind of like a demo disc. Because that's why they don't do demos anymore, is because it's been proven that demos either reduce or don't increase sales. They've never increased sales. Ever. So there's no point in making demos. That's why we don't have demos anymore. And I am the new demo disc. Is I'll play a thing and then tell you what it's like. But the problem with that is that you can then pick out the people who will definitely say that the demo disc is right. All of these, everything they're doing, everything that they're going with these days, Bethesda, everything they're doing is literally just advantageous to them. There is no advantage to you as a consumer at all.
And it is, I think, annoying as well, because generally, right, let's say they sent a game that was mediocre, right? A lot of games that are mediocre, you just play it and you go, whatever.
Yeah, I struggle with
it's
mediocre
good,
games. Like a good game, I can
Exactly.
go, hey, a bad game, I can go, ugh. And a mediocre game, I'm like, oh, fuck.
If it's
Well,
got
that's
bad
why.
enough voice acting, that'll do for me.
That's why there's a lot of games that we actually get sent that I try and go, this is just mediocre, and I don't bother sending it along.
Yeah, I don't even play all the games that we get. They go through Matt first as well, because he knows the kind of things that I do better videos on and the things that I actually enjoy. So I've got a buffer of that, and I've got a Matt buffer as well.
No, there were loads of requests for the people who published that Big Machines game. Mm-hmm. There was some other construction game, and it's shit, but it's just boring shit. It's not interesting shit. It's just boring. There's nothing to it. It's just the dullest, there's nothing, and it's a game I haven't sent along, But the thing with AAA games is you're a lot more likely to play them regardless, because they're AAA. And there's a big press thing around them, a lot of people are interested, you're interested. But if it's good, they need to take the chance, because if it's good, your recommendation does actually bring a fair amount of sales.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, I sell some copies of things. Jesus.
And generally, if you
I've
shit on
seen the
something...
charts. You've sometimes
They're
retweeted
literally,
them happily.
especially indie people, make charts, and they go, yeah, see this blip here? This is the Nerd³ blip, and this is the Total Biscuit blip, and this is the Jim Stone blip. Like that.
You call them mountains, it sounds better. This is Mount
Mountain.
Nerd Cubed.
Mount Cubed. Yeah, but that's genuinely, Factorio was a big one, where there's Factorio's la 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 la, and there's blump, and it's me. And I love that, because Factorio's a fucking incredible game, and I'm happy to promote it.
But this is the thing, right? That you get it's a big, fair, good thing if you promote it, and then if you don't, if it's a negative review of a AAA game, right? Well, maybe 1,000 people, maybe 500 people just don't buy it,
Yeah.
and that's it's the lost sales are kind of relatively negligible on a AAA title.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it makes more sense to take the risk, really.
Yeah.
And I don't, because I mean, if you're going to send it a day before release, it's just I look at that and go, that's anti-consumer. That's that's.
It also does a big thing, and there's a big thing that I've not seen really anyone discuss. If you say you can only you get a copy of this game a day before release, that means reviewers are more likely to rush their videos and rush their reviews, because you will have more eyes on those reviews if you're first. If you actually get those reviews out, you'll have more eyes on first, which means that the game doesn't actually have time to settle, and you don't actually get to have a proper review of it, because if you just finish playing a game, you just have whatever the last emotion you felt was, that's the tone of the game. Like, if it's a really good game, but the ending's really shitty, it's a shit game. It's not a good game with a bad ending. You don't get that time to digest anything, and reviewers need that time to digest their games and go, okay, no, I feel this about it. That's why, my first opinions of stuff sometimes wildly differ from what I actually think of the game overall. because
this
it
is it,
changes
like,
as it goes.
When I did, because I don't really, I've done like 3 proper reviews on my channel. Fallout 4 was the one I did, the big proper one, and that was one I played it a lot. I didn't rush through it. Well, I just really intensely played it to get through as much of it I could, and I came out of it really recommending. And then about a week later, and I was digesting, I was like, it's not as good as I thought. And then I put another video out, basically going,
Yeah.
I have.
But that's the thing, and with a big game like that, you need it. So having something like Dishonored, which is going to be... You're not going to finish Dishonored and know everything in 24 hours, because there's 2 different storylines to play through, and it's a big old game, and there's 2 different playstyles in those 2 different storylines that probably come out to loads of different endings, and you need to want to explore and feel the place out. It's going to make reviewers rush, and their viewers are going to be shitty.
But it swings both ways, though, because you might theoretically, like, lots of games have a shaky start, but get better after a few hours in. Potentially, if people are rushing based on, making a review on the first 5 hours, you might actually equally have what turns out to be a good game reviewed negatively.
Yeah,
go against
especially
the publishers as often as for them.
If there's no actual press reviews out and all the user reviews are really negative, I played the first 3 hours as a piece of shit, then that's going to seriously hurt you as well.
Yeah. And the thing is, I don't think it's necessarily like a Machiavellian supervillain strategy just to kind of try and get better reviews, because it might well get worse reviews just as much.
Well, but think about it, you've seen like the...
It doesn't even work in their favour, is what I'm trying to say.
No,
it
you
does
say
work
this,
a
but
large amount, because they have controlled people who they know what they're going to say about it. So with Bethesda, they've had like the Skyrim stuff's been with Polygon and IGN, and all the people that they know they've got at least an 8.5 out of. Like, that's
who they can put the quotes on the trailers.
Yeah,
the fucking
that sort of
believe the
thing.
hype quote and shit. Fuck IGN.
Believe the hype. Never believe the hype. Believing the hype is what gave us No Man's Sky. I like how they're called Hello Games. They haven't said a fucking word in ages. It's Hello Games. And they're just silent. Mute back to us.
And Sean Murray's Twitters too, I think, remain silent to this day.
Yeah. They had a PR person.
Someone should probably get like a wellness check on them.
Has anyone checked to see if they're okay?
Yeah. Quite the big games right now.
Well, I was saying, there's a lot of... Like, it's that we're finally getting through the drought of no games coming out into the big AAA season, which is always fun at the end of the year. It's always fun to actually play a thing. And I like that they're all together, because if something's shit, I just go, yeah, whatever. But if I've got a review code of it, I can be like, wait, yeah, whatever. Like, you may have noticed there's no Mafia 3 video so far, and I would have to buy it to get a code. And to be perfectly honest, I'd rather just buy Watch Dogs.
It's a priority as well, in that when you do get sent so many games keys, it's hard to justify going, okay, that's... It's not the money, it's not like we can't afford to buy the game, it's more that, like, you can't justify buying the game when there are another, like, 100 games there.
Yeah. I mean, you do. I mean, especially small-sized YouTubers and reviewers and stuff do have to judge that as a, can I afford this expense? Because it is an expense.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, most of the games...
A full-price game can make a loss easily if you just do a one-off.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've made videos that made... the fucking... the GTA 5 video, the fucking 2.5 million subscriber, that was a loss. But that's okay,
You're like,
that was necessary. Made a good point with that. But that's the
No,
thing.
it wasn't.
What? What wasn't necessary? It was a good video.
I
Fuck you.
disagreed heavily with the spending of that money, like, legitimately. Even though that video was a fucking, like fucking... It wasn't scripted, but it was planned. I disagreed heavily with the spending of actual money.
Yeah, 240 quid down the toilet. It's good.
It was such a faff as well, even putting it on your fucking Steam wallet, and oh my god, it's so
Yeah,
much
it took fucking forever. I just don't think I could get some...
It wasn't even
I couldn't
convenient.
get it all in the same time as well. I had to buy some the day before. And I had to buy that during it as well. Piece of shit. But, yeah, that's... But it doesn't matter, because they have bikes now or something. I don't know.
Though sadly, of course, some of the games that were going to be coming out have already started slipping. Star Trek Bridge Crew has fallen back to next March.
Which is weird, because I never read that out on the list of games when we were reading out all the upcoming games. Never read it out. And then you're like, what about this? It's like I knew. Actually, I did. So
Interestingly, right.
Ghost Recon Wildlands already slipped out to currently March the 7th, just a week before Star Trek Bridge Crew.
March is where we just catch all the games that missed to this point.
You know PewDiePie?
Never
right?
heard of him.
Never heard of him.
PewDiePie did a video on Star Trek Bridge Crew and also a video on The Last Guardian. And he's getting this kind of like really, really, really early access to stuff.
I can think of one game that PewDiePie gave a negative review to.
Exactly, he's not
And
allowed
then
to,
he
and he's the
apologised
biggest
for
YouTuber.
it. So...
Which is weird, because he is, as a person, quite outspoken. Generally, but he will just, like, mute himself Loads.
I don't know. I've played his.
He plays a very professional game, though. He's very willing to play ball nicely and take the money.
Oh yeah, that's what I
I've
mean. Yeah,
played his video game. If I had released that, I would have critiqued the
ones?
shit out of it. The first one was good, the little platform one. That was really well made and cost money was fine. The second one, the microtransaction laden piece of absolute bullshit,
piece of shit.
Is a piece of shit.
It's just Habbo, but without any gameplay.
It's just every mobile phone game. That's all it is. It's every single fucking mobile phone game.
I got really pissed off with it because all the YouTubers were playing it and tweeting about it. Just less because it was a good game and more because it was just popular.
Most of them were on PewDiePie's network.
Well,
because he has that network of YouTubers, because he has his own YouTube network. Is that a thing that's made public?
Yeah, but even people not on the network are playing it.
That's a thing that's made public at this point.
Travel mode, yeah, travel mode.
Yeah, like fuck, Jesus. The problem with knowing things, I'm like, that's the thing people know, right? Right? That Jesus.
Yeah, no,
wait, hang on. Everyone knows PewDiePie's in the Illuminati. He announced that on the channel already, right?
No.
Oh shit!
But you know what I mean?
Next week, Toll Biscuit announces it, and then it's PewDiePie the week after.
Like I saw a lot of people playing it on Twitter and tweeting the room stuff like going, and it was. I'm sat there wondering. Because it wouldn't have been a game any of these people would have played if it didn't have that name behind
Absolutely.
it.
No, I disagree. It would, because people who play mobile phone games have literally no taste in video games.
No, I know that, but I mean...
Every single time someone defends games like that, they go, oh, it's a good time waster. I'm like, don't waste your fucking time! It's like the most finite resource you literally will ever have in your life. Use it it just annoys me. I get up at 5 a.m. and then go to bed at like midnight and work the whole time. When people are like, oh, I like to waste some time, I'm like, why? Get shit done!
What I mean is that I'm going to use the twatty phrase, influencers wouldn't be playing it if it didn't have the big name.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. The name
Oh
brings
shit,
people.
shit. Breaking news.
Did the hipster girl win Breaking Bread? Breaking Bread.
I don't know, and I don't want to look it up because some people might consider that spoilers. The Incredibles 2 has just moved up.
What?
Now coming in 2018.
No. Who gives a fuck about that?
What? The Incredibles was amazing.
Yeah, but fucking
it's 2 years away.
Switch will be out by then, and the PS4 Pro will be out by then, and Xbox.
Fucking
And
PS5 will be
Donald
out by then
Trump
at
will
this
have
rate.
nuked the world, so it won't matter.
Oh, he's not
don't
winning.
encourage that.
He's got about as much chance of winning that thing as his fucking paving slab.
Yeah, but if he loses, all his followers rise up and then just overthrow the government, and he just sets himself up as God King forever. Then he nukes the world.
Oh, God.
Or right, they don't, because they're all fat, lazy, racist cunts.
Oh,
Hey, easy job. I'm really looking forward to it.
The problem with, as America occasionally finds out, even the most useless, lazy, fat person who has access to fully automatic assault weaponry can still do a lot of damage.
Yes, they can. But on the bright side, and this is the bright side, and I'm telling you about the bright side now, he doesn't stand a works chance in the supernova of winning as long as everybody goes out and votes. Really?
Go out and vote, you bastards!
He's bombed his campaign so hard, the Trump hotel chain wants to ditch the name Trump.
Also, frankly, right, his, even if he does get elected, he won't do, 90% of the things he
can't, because he doesn't have infinite money. He's
not
playing Civ 6 with the cheats
He's
on.
not really going to run he's going to be like, okay, and he's going to go, okay, Pence, you do it, and then walk off. You know, he's
got underage girls to rape. I mean,
a load. Oh, Jesus! A load of people are fucking making. He's gonna nuke the world, and people are saying, "Oh, Hillary's gonna go to war with Russia."
Well, right. As someone with a memory longer than 4 years, every time there's an election, that's the rhetoric that's always brought out. Oh, they did this one thing that's gonna make war happen. Oh, they did this one thing that's gonna make war happen. I genuinely believe that Trump is so incompetent he could probably start it. I genuinely believe that Trump could... Actually, you know what? No, I don't believe that, because he's with Russia, and he bows down and sucks on that dick.
I believe he could probably...
China? Fuck! Him and Russia and America versus China. That'll happen.
I believe, that Trump, with his words, could legitimately start not a war with Russia, China, or a superpower, but legitimately, he could start a skirmish or a war with a small country.
Yeah, I think he'd try and take out North Korea. As a way of remembering.
But then he'd miss and hit South Korea because he doesn't understand the difference.
They've all got those slitty eyes! That's what Trump would say.
Dear.
Doesn't matter what bombs are
They've all got that. I can't do it for Trump.
What was that?
I know, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
There's the whole thing about Hillary Clinton and the no-fly zone, and people are, for some reason, thinking that...
This minor policy thing that she's said once and may or may not do.
No, because fucking okay, a load of I am very smart
Right.
people now because great.
The thing about it is, I don't give a fuck because we actually in Britain now we have our own problems to be dealing with. Like the banks might leave. This is a thing that's
quite
happened. Like we might lose 10% of our economy, and the person
you see
who's
what
now
Jeremy
in charge of getting money back, she went, "Oh, if only we made more jam."
Did you see what Corbyn said to her?
Did he go, "Shut up, you dumb cunt! I'm taking over the country,"
He
and then
quoted
slapped her?
Baldrick.
He
He
quoted
started
Baldrick.
quoting Baldrick in the House of Commons.
Oh yes, I did do that.
Yes, and then she retorted with, "Oh, he was the actor who played it. It was a Labour Party member." And like 3 people went, "Ooh." Like,
It was a
great,
bit of a weak comeback, definitely.
great retort, yeah.
Yeah.
God no, it's like the fucking no fly thing. I got really pissed off with that because Great Under Ray made a video, and I love Great Under Ray, right? Like we both like him.
Do we?
Me and Dan.
Who the
I don't know.
fuck is-
John.
Oh, thingy. Yeah, no, he's right.
He's okay. I'm not
But
subscribed to him. I
he
see
made a
it.
video-
It's sometimes,
Okay, yeah,
it's
you
sometimes
get the
funny.
occasional video where you go, "Oh, that was fun," but it's not something
He's
I
made a video-
sometimes chuckle-worthy.
He made a video about Hillary Clinton, right? And it was all the fucking really sensationalist shit you see about like Hillary Clinton, and he's doing one on Trump, and it's going to be all the really sensationalist shit you're going to see about Trump. It's like, oh no, you don't stop. He's like, oh, she's like, oh, I want to do a no-fly zone, and then like the title of the video is Hillary wants war with Russia, and the whole thing is him saying how Hillary wants war with Russia and how that'll end the world. It's like, no, mate, no.
No, mate!
Stop. Yeah, basically, it's like, nah, stop. It's just Russian foreign policy is really always bluffing. Oh God, stop! Please, no.
Yeah, it's just dick waving, and Hillary Clinton has a bigger dick than Trump, so I think it will be fine. Like if Hillary gets in, I'll be like, all right, see you in 4 years. I think you know what the real reason I really want Hillary to run America is because then we'll actually have to put effort into satire. Like, who is it? Isn't it like Peter? What's his face? I never say his surname. Serafino, him, that guy. Fuck.
Peter Serafinovich.
That's the one. Is it him that's on YouTube? He just rereads Trump's speech. He's back with a silly voice.
It's such a weird kind of smooth voice. Like there was that one with a little girl. He's like, "Oh, you're such a beautiful girl."
Yeah, he does that kind of voice, but he just
beautiful.
keeps Trump's speeches as they are. Doesn't change anything, and it's fucking hilarious and terrifying. So yeah, that's good.
Mainly
Such a-
terrifying.
Such a beautiful girl. It's like an 8-year-old.
Yeah,
It's like, ask you a question.
yeah. You should watch those videos. They're fucking hilarious. But that's you don't need to add anything. It feels like it's just low effort. I want someone who actually I can be like, oh, foreign policy jokes, and then like people who give a shit will be like, hey, and everybody else will be like, stop talking. That's what I like. That's what I like. Yeah. So yeah. We actually no. The banks might be leaving England, which is great because that's 10% of our actual income. That was the whole country, which means that Brexit is a fucking disaster. We're actually getting the House of Parliament are getting a vote, but after Article 50 is triggered, which is the thing that says we're leaving the EU. So that's in the wrong time. That's like saying, oh yeah, you should put your seatbelt on like after the car's gone off the cliff.
No, it's what they're doing is that they're voting on whether to approve the plan the Tories are basically set in place. But the position they're putting them is basically approve our plan or we have no plan.
Yeah, we have no plan. A big news story literally today is that Elon Musk's Mars program has a better laid out plan and finances than Brexit.
And his plan is very loose.
His plan is very loose. His plan
How
is
much jam
Mars.
selling does this involve? How much jam does he need to sell to fund the Mars mission?
Well, somebody worked out that they need to sell 90 trillion jars of jam, or 90 billion jars of jam, to counteract the amount of money that we'd lose if the banks leave. So,
that better not be orange marmalade jam, or I'm going back to being worried about the orange
they
population.
were like, oh, the banks have done the banks might be leaving, and then a few days later, the Tories like, well, we might cut corporation tax down to 10%.
Please stay. Please, don't leave. Don't leave.
Who's going to pay for that? We'll put the
stupid
taxes up on the poor. Fuck them. We'll cut some disability things. But companies stay. Hey, here's a way of making the company stay. Maybe be in the Eurozone. And today the big thing is that a speech Theresa May made, has come out with her basically saying if we leave it's going to be a fucking disaster.
I mean, because she wasn't very vocal about it, but she was anti-Brexit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was a Remainer.
Yeah. So was anybody Zane.
What?
I've decided to just make politics black and white. It worked for Trump. It's going to work for me as well.
All right.
It's like, look, it's either the smart thing or actually Hillary isn't really a black and white thing, but she's clearly superior. That's the problem. It's like man.
No,
two things,
damn though. She's a murderer who wants to go with war to Russia.
I like the people who,
Lock
when
her
you're
up.
like, hey, here's a positive thing about Hillary, they go, oh, emails! I just kind of want to go...
Drain the swamp.
What emails? Oh, well, the emails. What email? Oh, she deleted them. Oh, what was alleged to be in them? Oh, emails.
In fairness, there are a lot of genuine criticisms about Hillary Clinton, but frankly,
she's not Trump
like,
and everything Trump
whenever I
stands
mention,
for.
whenever I mention like a Trump thing or a Johnson thing or a fucking Stein, oh god, Jill Stein's the fucking worst. Like Jill Stein's just hollow. Just not. Just look in her brains, nothing there. Fair. Fuck Jill Stein. Anyway, it's like every time you mention something bad about them, they go, "Oh, Hillary does." I don't care. I'm critiquing them. I'm not critiquing fucking hell.
Yeah, it's like, Titanfall 2 is good. Yeah, well, Battlefield 1's better. Well, I don't give a shit. I'm talking about this thing. This thing over here that I'm pointing at that I'm talking about.
That's why I hate it. It's why I hate talking about computers or like iPhones and Twitter. People always get the Android iOS thing and the Mac PC thing and the fucking like, fucking Windows Phone. Windows Phone. Ooh, Linux. Good for you. Ooh, I'm on Linux. Well, good for you. Go jerk off over there then.
I like how there's WikiLeaks released loads of emails about Hillary and all the papers like, oh, damning emails. She planned her campaign. Yes. She's spending millions of dollars on a presidential campaign. The fact that she planned it makes me go, yeah, well, you should have done. Like, if the headline was like, Trump wisely pisses money away, making it up as he goes on. Fuck,
that is the headline, isn't it?
By the way, fuck WikiLeaks. I don't like WikiLeaks. I hate WikiLeaks. I think it's... I like the idea of going, hey, let's leak all this stuff, but they curate it and they release what they want to. Yeah, fuck that.
They use it to push a political agenda rather than just...
Yeah.
But I think in fairness, though, Hillary is a bit more back-end shady. But
of course, she's a fucking politician! That's the thing, right? If you go, it's a bit shady, I'm like, yeah, that comes with a fucking job. We assume this. We assume they're at least like 30% lizard by default, but Trump clearly doesn't have a fucking clue. That's it. That's the end of the debate. It should be the end of the debate. You go, Hillary Clinton is a standard president of the United States of America, and Trump is a firework pointing in a random direction, depending on how he feels that day.
I don't think he's a firework. I think he's more just a bit of a...
No, he's a firework. He might fly in your face, explode, and kill you, or he might just fuck off into the distance. He might never launch. He might just fall over and get soggy. He might blow. He might just set a shed on fire. But
what? He might be a fucking Catherine wheel, just spin around, just in a circle, just shouting.
And if you go, we want change, we're voting for Trump, you're gonna get change. You'll absolutely get change. What that change is, I don't know. Spin the wheel.
The wheel of fuck you.
Jesus. God, why don't mention Trump. I get really annoyed because of all the people who message me with their egg avatars or footballer avatars or car avatars or anime girl avatars. And that's the 4 kinds of people that email me. Just horrendously racist shit. Just horrendous racist shit. To the point where my mentions...
I don't get that.
I don't have my mentions open anymore. They're just not there.
No,
I don't have them. I don't read them. I don't give a shit. You've all ruined it for me. Thank you.
I occasionally write. I fucking because I follow all the presidential candidates now, and I occasionally look at replies to shit they make. Because Jill Stein is terrible, and Johnson is also. They're just fucking idiots. Stein and Johnson.
Of course,
I love how we didn't know what Aleppo was. That was my favourite thing.
What's that?
Actually, being on national TV, being asked about Aleppo, and having to ask, and what is Aleppo?
And the reporter says, "Are you kidding?" And he goes, "No."
That's just amazing. Like at that point, how is like any response that he gives after? Like, do you think your opinion really holds any weight when until I explained it to you, you had no idea what Aleppo was?
And then Stein.
Sorry, hang on. Somebody just. One of the Twitch chat just said, personally, I hope Trump wins, and this is the thing that I see a lot, because then the system might just crash and burn, and from the ashes a new and better system rises. Yeah, because Fallout 4 clearly proves that after 200 years, we're living in huts.
Also, to point out as well, like, the American system, while it's a mess, is probably one of the newer modern political systems.
Oh, we've got a big MP uprising at the moment to push proportional representation in the UK, and I'm going to get the fuck on that.
Do we?
Yeah, it literally launched today. I bet it's not even made the fucking news. But like these big MPs have got together.
I watched Channel 4 News earlier, and I did not see
from
that.
Almost every party. Oh god, Heathrow's getting expansion. Oh, just not even think about that. It's not even think.
Airport.
I get this every time I go. Every time I go on Twitter, I just go, "Oh God, make me angry." Oh no.
Airport.
Yeah.
It's why I understand, Dan, why you sometimes just take breaks from like.
I've now decided
everything.
to just follow the people who I'm there to follow, and everybody else. I
Oh
don't
shit!
care.
Their mistake was launching their campaign for proportional representation the same day as the Bake Off final. They're never going to get that getting any attention.
We're never going to get the news. But there we go. 12 hours ago.
It's all about Bake Off and Heathrow.
Because our voting system is shitty. So if I make a video and go, hey, do this thing, yeah, the only people who ever really should fight proportional representation are people who are currently in power.
Well, there's the whole thing in that, like, the US one as well. That it is a bit messy as well, like that. Cause there was it was the Gore and Bush, wasn't it? Where Gore got more votes, but he still lost.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's things like that which don't work. Because then you're not actually in a democracy, you're in, like, shitty, not democracy. I don't fucking know. I don't want to say
Half
words.
democracy.
Autocracy? Oligarchy.
You made that up. That just sounds like a Russian dance.
That's a money-based thing, isn't it? Money-based.
Well, it means the rule of the few. Oligos is Greek for few.
I know Greek.
So I think
No, you don't.
think we should.
Oh no, sorry, you were mocking me, so I thought you were claiming to know Greek. It's like, no, you don't. You're an idiot. You're the least educated man in Liverpool.
I think
I am.
that we should.
You barely speak English. I've heard you speak.
We absolutely should put massive pressure on all of the candidates in the upcoming general election in a couple of years when Theresa May eventually backs down because Brexit backfires and explodes her face. I think we should put massive pressure on that they have to put proportional representation on the table, or we just don't go vote for them and we do big things and we make that a very known thing. That's my plan. I'll get on that.
Proportional representation is great. It worked very well for Ireland, even though Ireland's a bit of a mess because they have so many parties.
That's the thing. I like the idea. I like the idea of actually, being able to vote for someone and make that vote be counted.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, I want the UK political system to be like Ireland, frankly. The idea you have multiple sort of MPs per area.
Yeah, there's
And
much
they're all
better ways. But last time we tried to get rid of first past the post, they were like, "Oh, babies need incubators." Remember that fucking
They do.
bullshit?
Are you saying babies don't need incubators?
No, they were saying it's really expensive and we should spend the money on veterans and baby incubators and... It was run by the same person who ran the Brexit campaign. So whoever that person is, there's a fresh place in hell waiting for them.
Any attempt to change the status quo in Britain is meant to be, well, we could do that, but why don't you want that money to go to the NHS? And by the way, the money's not going to the NHS anyway.
Yeah, I'm very looking forward to the Tories finally shutting down the NHS so they can't use that. When they eventually
Then
destroy the
let's be
NHS...
schools. Then let's change over to schools. Why aren't our schools getting this money? They need it. Clearly.
Yeah.
We're not going to give it to the schools afterwards, but why do you hate schools?
You hate children.
I do hate children, they're annoying. I hope half term's over soon so they all piss off back to school and I can walk through town in peace.
Oh, thank God, that'd be I live in town. I go outside.
You are a child.
Fuck you.
You're one of the small people I hope goes back to school soon.
I'm the same height as you.
You don't have A-levels. Go back to school and do them.
No. They won't let me in.
You should go to an adult community college and get some A-levels so
Well,
you're
the
not
problem
the least
is,
educated
I try and go
person
to
in
an adult
Liverpool.
one. They say, no, go to the kids one. I go to the kids one. They say, you're banned from here because, we're worried about the kids' safety. So, it's sort of catch
Well,
me.
as they should do based on apparently your preferences as regards bread.
So Heathrow's getting an extension that's going to demolish 3 villages because fuck whoever lives there.
Is this just become a generic news podcast at this point?
This podcast...
Are we just going through the British news?
This podcast is a gaming and politics podcast, and anybody who hasn't noticed that yet can fuck off. And music and... in fact, it's just talking.
It's mainly
I
gaming.
hate podcasts where like, but we can't talk about that because we've got to focus on games, and when they stop and really... I like a good flowing conversation that just goes off, and then every now and then you reel it back in when the conversation figures out.
Our main interests are games and politics and media, and that's what we talk about.
Yeah. It's just for Twitch we have to pretend it's a gaming... That's the lie that we tell Twitch. Yeah, this is
Quick!
Civilization 6 came out.
Microsoft are making 5 VR headsets.
Donald Glover's been cast as young Lennon Calrissian. Incidentally, best fucking casting ever. Well
That is
done.
quite good casting,
That's the
yeah.
best.
That is quite good.
Sorry, anyway. Yeah, that's 3 bits of media news. Right, so now back to Heathrow.
Oh, I just noticed we're being hosted by Total Biscuit. How nice.
Yeah, because I'm on that list with him.
Yeah.
All of us, all the Rat Pack of YouTube.
Rat Pack.
Jesus, fuck. No. Yeah, so Heathrow's getting a big extension. It's our airport. It's shit. Jay Foreman, YouTuber, well, comedian, but also does YouTube videos. Go on to his channel. He has a thing called Unfinished Britain, and it's got 2 fantastically hilarious episodes about airports in London airports. That sounds dull, but he's genius, and it's the funniest thing, and he's incredible.
He is a genius. I want to point out, he's just
so incredibly funny. But he's got he's got some stuff. Then you'll know why it's a big deal that Heathrow's getting an extension, because it's gonna add a load of crap to the air. And really, now we've left Europe, do we really need the airport? Like, Heathrow itself runs at 98% capacity. We know this is a thing, but you could just build an airport in the Thames Estuary, which is Boris Island. It's the first time I've ever agreed with Boris Johnson on anything. That's a smart thing to do. It's a longer term investment, but then you'd actually have like a 6-runway airport.
It was crazy, ludicrous expensive, though.
Yes, but this will also be crazy, ludicrous expensive.
also more disruptive.
And way more disruptive because they've got to then buy... I mean, that's only the cost of, like, materials and shit. I don't think they factor in the cost of buying everybody's houses from them, or however the fuck you literally rip someone from the home they've been living in for years.
I actually read a really interesting piece that I think actually gets to the bottom of it quite nicely, which is, if you're trying to figure out who the most important and powerful pressure groups in the UK are, like, you know, the Conservative Party only has a very small number of members, and Labour doesn't have them. They've got more than they used to because a huge number came in with associated membership through Corbyn, but they're still not that big, and the Lib Dems are tiny. But if you compare that to the RSPCA and the RSPB, they are nothing. They are the biggest, most ridiculously powerful pressure groups, and they were dead set against it because this was basically going to fuck up a whole bunch of animal and bird habitation.
Yep.
And basically, if anything annoys the RSPB and the RSPCA, who are our bird and animal protection people, by the way, the Royal Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, or Royal Society for the Prevention... Not the Royal Society for the Prevention of Birds. That's probably wrong.
No birds.
Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, not the prevention of birds. They'd be doing a bad job otherwise. Basically, they said they didn't want it, and as a result, politicians couldn't even consider this.
Yeah.
Because they've got more money through donations and more members that could mobilise and protest than any
and you know
politician
what?
can
The
deal
British
with.
really like their fucking, like, sitting in the wards looking at birds.
But the British really fucking love animals. You cannot piss off the animals lobby.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. But you know what Britain loves even more than that? What a quintessential piece of Britain is? It's a thing that's unfortunately in the way of the runway they're going to build, and it's called the M25.
Oh, we're going to build a little ramp over it. We're going to ramp planes off the
Literally,
M25.
the plan is to build a ramp over the busiest, most congested, horrific nightmare of a motorway. It's a motorway that goes all the way around London, quite a way out. And if you ever see London, it's got a big circle around it. That's the M25. It's a nightmare because it's a circle, and circles are stupid when it comes to roads because one person stops, and then that just feeds all the way back, and you get phantom traffic jams that don't exist that go on for hours.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but like a runway is a straight long bit of tarmac, correct?
Yes.
So if you put a little kind of rampy bump, that is just a speed bump. You can call it a ramp all you want, but you've just put a speed bump on a thing where the planes have to be going fast.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't really... I don't believe
there are runways in the world which are ramps down, like ski resorts and stuff for like small emergency airplanes and things. Have little ramps that like go down. They're like
Can we have a little loop-de-loop on it too? Can the plane go through a little loop-de-loop?
Like Sonic the Hedgehog, just
yeah, exactly.
I want to say when they say ramp, they probably mean like a maybe a 3% incline over like 200-300 meters or something, you know.
Yes, but they are going to have to do horrific things to the M25 to make this work. And it's going to take years and years. So they're going to have to gut the M25 for years.
I mean, really, obviously, the best solution would be to make an M25 like a tunnel and put it under it. But obviously, just the disruption that causes in the meantime.
Yeah. Plus, then you've got a tunnel, which is I said this on another thing. I was like, hey, do they have tunnels under airports? Because that sounds like a massive security risk. Turns out they don't, because it's a massive security risk, and it's only in GTA.
They do it some.
Yeah, but apparently it's a massive security risk.
Not full tunnels. They have some small...
Yeah, but putting the busiest, congestedest road under an airport runway...
Yeah, no, that's not a great idea.
No.
They have sometimes in the airport road, they sometimes have underpasses under a runway.
Yeah, but it's not the biggest road, like busiest road in the world.
No, like there's like one at Manchester Airport, which is really cool actually, because you can sort of go under it while the plane's passing over and you just sort of see the wing above your head. It's really weird.
Cool.
Yeah.
But it's not the busiest road.
No,
the problem with London, right, is they keep building houses and they're filling it up and they filled it up too much.
Look, I mean, you really wish like real life was a video game, because the idea, like, you know, when something like Prison Architect, like, or even City Skylines, like, if you want to build something there, you just sort of rip it all up with no real consideration.
Yeah. Or you start
That's
another
handy.
one elsewhere. I think they just need to build London too. We got a lot of room up north.
Civilizations. If this was Civ 6, you would literally just kind of basically select the aerodrome, click on the residential area, and say, "Do you want to demolish a residential area in order to build aerodrome?" Yes. Boom. Done.
Yeah. But this one's going to take £17 billion and 15 years or so.
In all fairness, building districts takes about 15 years in Civ 6 as well. They're very slow.
Yeah.
The A538 runs under Manchester Airport's runways. There you go.
There we go. We learnt something
There's
today.
a fact for you.
So what we need, right? This is my plan. This is my cunning plan. Is maybe just do Boris's thing instead.
To have no plan at all.
Just do Boris's thing. Have a big fucking airport out in the Thames Estuary because the land he's
Well, maybe
pointing
not
at
the
is
Thames
just
Estuary.
fucking
Hang on.
marshland.
What's the Isle of Wight doing these days?
I don't know, but they've got that nearly Hitler logo thing going on with the feet, which is I think is just even
Like,
creepier. So.
have they ever done? And just let's come up with a list of cities that aren't really doing much.
Okay, can I
these
just
days.
point something out? That's a bit of a way out of London to be a London.
Okay, how
airport.
about Portsmouth? What the fuck is Portsmouth doing?
A port? I think.
Well, it used to be. We don't really do much of that anymore. And lots of that's happening in Dover. I mean, how many do we need? We've got Southampton, Dover, and they're bigger and more important than Portsmouth. How about we rename it Ayrmouth and build a massive airport? I knew a guy once who actually lived in Portsmouth and commuted into London every day. Not a bad journey.
Uh-huh.
So you know what, like the thing with flying as well now is flying is becoming more point to point than point to hub and then hub to
Well,
point.
they're a hub. Heathrow's a hub airport, and a third of all traffic that goes through it is people changing over.
Well, it is, but the thing is now, right, Boeing have released the 787 and they've got a new 737 coming out, and they're made for long-haul point-to-point routes, which, because obviously they've always went for, here's a big aircraft, and that's going to go the longest distance routes, but now there's a 737 that can go from England to the United States, and the 787, and they're very efficient, smaller aircraft, and because of that, point-to-point is becoming a bit more suitable and more efficient, and it's becoming a lot more popular.
Well, we've just banked the next
aircraft
15 years on the hub system.
Well, and that's why it's not like the A380. Nobody's bought, no companies have bought an A380 in years because the hub system isn't making enough money. They're all going to point. All the airlines are going point to point, and that's why it's like small airport to small airport. You go from your destination, you go from your place of literally where you live to your destination, and you just in smaller aircraft, and it works. And making a massive hub airport, I mean, I suppose you're in a massive city. But, I mean, I suppose that was kind of the point of London City Airport. It's just because London's got a bit too many things in. But again, if you're banking on the hub system is not really going to be around for that much longer, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, right? Basically, we shouldn't really be putting a lot of effort and money into a thing that's going to disrupt loads of people for years and years, and we won't know when the fuck it's going to be done. Because they say it's
Here's
like 10
the
to 15 years, and that's like... What came out 10 to 15 years ago? What came out 15 years ago? What big games were there?
Ooh, the original Resident Evil was 20 years ago this year.
That's
Resident Evil on the PS1 is only 20 years ago.
Final Fantasy X.
Max Payne 1.
Ooh, Max Payne
One's a good
1.
one.
Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah, because it was the 11 just came out after.
The Sims
so
Hot
Devil May
Date.
Cry then would have come out then. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3.
Dead or Alive 3. Silent Hill 2.
SSX 2.
Bejeweled. The original Bejeweled.
Wow.
And
And it hasn't changed a bit.
basically, that was a while ago.
Fallout Tactics.
That was a while ago.
Halo Combat Evolved. Halo 1.
So basically, see how far we come in gaming in that time, then work out where we're going to be in the future, and that's when this airport will be built. So they're building it for that world, which apparently will be full of, I don't know. Well, we won't have any fucking money.
You know what we should do? Let's just build a hyperloop around the entire world.
You know what we should do? Let's just tarmac over Hull.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
fuck
works
all.
too.
Tarmac over Hull. Alright, we decided. Sorted. Can we stop talking about airports? Because I want to play City Skylines right now. Is there... Shit, we've gone well over. Oh, God. We've gone well over talking
You know,
about
I really
airports.
wish City Skylines, right? You know the problem with city builders, I think, is that airports are a bit too it's a plonkable
Yeah, it's
thing
just
with
a
airports.
fluff. You never actually have to design and build the terminals and
Yeah,
stuff.
I feel like I want a game like that you actually have to design the airport, because designing an airport is really it's a big thing in cities.
Yeah.
I hope they do that eventually one day.
London has 6 airports of those counting. People are like, oh, but they've got upgraded. Is there only one? No, they have 6.
Well,
We have one where
depends
I
on-
grew up, which is
It
an
depends
hour
on what you
and
count
5
as
minutes
is
on
London.
the train
No,
from London.
it depends on what you count as London.
Well, there's 6 official ones that actually are London official airports.
Yeah, but you count Luton Airport as London.
Yes, for London Airport.
Yeah, that seems fair.
But it's Luton. It's the difference between Luton and London is the difference between Liverpool and Manchester.
Yeah, they're basically the same thing. That's just the northwest.
Yeah, but we don't call Manchester Airport Liverpool Airport, do we?
Well, I don't know, where do Liverpool people go when they want to go somewhere?
Liverpool Airport.
Well, they shouldn't. It doesn't go anywhere.
Or Manchester Airport.
Well, exactly. You just said that's yes. Look, Liverpool people go to Manchester if they want to go anywhere significant.
Yeah, but it's called Manchester Airport. It's not called. We don't say the airport's in Liverpool just because they go there.
But But if it's the airport Liverpudlians use,
Yeah.
what does it matter?
Right, it doesn't. But you just don't call it an airport in Liverpool, do you?
You don't. You might call it a Northwest airport if it's serving
Yeah.
the whole Northwest.
Yeah.
And Greater London is a region in the same way the Northwest is.
But fuck off, John.
David Cameron has just been announced as Ally of the Year by Pink News, which is a very big news site for LGBT plus people. David Cameron is Ally of the Year.
Because he resigned. the kindest thing he could ever do is just
I
stop
think that's
doing
it. It's
anything.
like he just stopped.
Literally, he is the ally because now he's basically taken himself out of a position where he could do anything wrong, and now he's powerless.
Wow.
And that's the kindest thing any Tory Prime Minister can ever do for gay people. Just stop.
Okay.
Stop doing anything.
Claire has just tweeted a petition. Apparently, there's a petition calling for Scotland to be thrown out of the UK.
Oh yeah, I saw that trending on Twitter.
Yes. That's a very clever way of getting around the whole referendum problem, isn't it?
It's the whole I want to quit. Like, no, you're fired.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Scotland and Scottish people watching, I love you. Always remember that when you eventually take us back over, because we're a shitting cesspit of bollocks and an unfinished airport.
I was really annoyed because I was thinking, I can move back to Ireland. You know, Ireland's very nice now. It's become quite progressive. You know, it's modernised. Dublin's changed. It's a very good modern city. And it was like, Elaine, then the pound.
Yeah, isn't it great that the pound's collapsed?
So good.
That's so good.
In Dublin, legitimately, if I wanted to move to Dublin, it's just half the money's gone. There we go. Just because everything's double the price.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Yeah.
Create a war, £2 here. Create a war there, €4.60.
Yeah, but right, it was the immigrants' fault for immigrating.
Yep. David Cameron spam in the chat.
Oh god. Jesus.
Yeah. I should really get a Corbyn. Make a Corbyn one.
Like a Corbyn frowny face.
It's not like all the ones, just a Corbyn, a May, and a fucking.
It might get dated pretty quickly.
Well, yeah, but I can change it.
When he gets ousted again.
I feel like there's only so long he can hang around.
Yeah, we thought that about David Cameron, but he definitely got his second term. So.
Yeah, but he kept winning popular votes for the whole country and stuff.
That's not.
There was a great it was the CGP Grey made a great video on the sort of, I guess, the science of power.
Huh.
Yesterday. It was about how sort of democracies and dictatorships work, in the sense of power, and how the systems work as opposed to any specific kind of not detailed in the system, but how the actual terms of power works, and you have keys now, you control your keys and all this stuff, and how sort of modern society works. It's quite an interesting watch if you go watch that and you sort of know about why people like Cameron do stay in their second term and stuff. Fuck you.
That sounds great. I'm just okay. Let's stop being depressed and let's finish on a piece of gaming news.
Mm-hmm.
The Nintendo Switch, as I guessed in our hour-long discussion-y thing about it, will not ship without the dock. They are not promoting this as a handheld console at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Though there's still a huge number of very important questions, like price point and battery life for the handheld.
Well, we've heard that the battery life is bad.
Well, people said 3. I mean, people are starting to say 3 hours gameplay. That's kind of what I said.
Plus, there's different questions, like what are the individual controllers when they're plugged in or not, versus if you take the controllers out and do the whole thing where both of them have got the mini NES controller. How long do those last? And...
Okay. The controllers, based on controllers like that. Like, the Apple TV remote is a lot like that, and that lasts like a fucking month. Like, the battery on that are probably not going to be a problem. The battery on the main thing that's got the power in, 3 hours, right, is short for a handheld, but for a tablet, like, that's 3 hours gameplay. And that is not long for a game station, but generally, if you're traveling or whatever, it's probably fine for most people. Like, I know 3 hours isn't a lot, but really, there's not that many situations where you're out at a place with, like, a table or whatever for 3 hours playing a game. So, like, it's not great. It's not great. And if you really want more, you just get a battery pack. It's not that big of a deal, really. You already have to put it in a bag anyway, so a battery pack's not that big of a jump.
Civilization 6 has come out and is excellent and has generally received rave reviews from basically everyone.
I've not played it. It's 2K, fuck it.
It has pretty much...
it.
I cannot find a review source that hasn't basically given it like a 9 out of 10 or above.
Hey, 2K, I'll probably like it. Send me a code.
I mean, I give it an 8 out of 10.
Ooh.
Purely because fucking the notifications it's the worst. It's the worst notification. You know
there
what?
are UI issues. There are some small UI niggles that need fixing.
You can't use that word. What would you use?
On the bottom right of the screen.
Fine, there are some...
When, like, a civilization is announced another civilization, it'd pop up and it'd say, blah is announced, blah. Or 2 have gone to war, it'd have 2 little icons of each civ, and in the middle, there'd be a little sword animation, and it'd say they've gone to war. In this one, it bundles all these important things about people going to war and announcing all this, in with information about them building a water mill. Or one of their random fucking units getting promoted. It's like, ooh, Japan's built a water mill. Ooh, fucking France is, they promoted one of the units, just hidden in these fucking random bits that pop up every turn, like 30 of these fucking things, and they all look the same. There's just like, ooh, these have gone to war. Just fucking in there. And I missed that. And sometimes I've just played, I've just sort of realised someone's at war next to me. Or just like a city-state's gone to war with me without me realising. And it's like, what the fuck? Ooh, it's awful. It's really bad. Otherwise, good game.
It's a really good game. It's fantastic.
I like Battlefield 1. Shot a thing.
Meanwhile,
it fell over.
My favourite announcement this week was Nintendo basically revealed that they wanted to do something special for Halloween for Pokemon Go, and they announced that as a result of that, they were going to make ghost Pokemon way more common over Halloween. Now, at some point after making that announcement, someone must have realised, wait a minute, Pokemon Go only contains Pokemon from Generation 1. That means there's literally only one ghost. Because there was nothing but the Ghastly family, and they were already incredibly common. So they rapidly backpedaled on this and said, oh no, it's not just Ghost, it's also going to be other spooky Pokemon, like Drowsy and Zubat.
Oh yeah, we need them to be more common.
Also, because we needed more Drowsies and Zubats.
Yeah.
So basically they've taken 3 of the most common Pokemon in the world and said, there's going to be even more of them over Halloween. Enjoy. That's going to bring people back for this game that's now pretty much entering a really nasty downward spiral of users.
Speaking of, have you actually been on the No Man's Sky subreddit recently? Because oh my god,
no one has.
Oh my god, they have. It's just my favorite thing. Right, literally, there's 1,200 people on it right now. It is just devastating. You've never seen such despair in your lives.
Is it denial or?
Oh no! Now it's just like it's got to that point of acceptance, and they're like,
they're in acceptance. Okay,
they're like, hey, could you do some things?
Actually, in relation to space games, Star Citizen's free at the moment.
It is.
It is free. No, it is.
It's a free alpha for the rest of this month.
It's a free alpha for the rest of the month. It was what you could buy into previously, and I played it, and I was extraordinarily disappointed. But it has its potential. Right? It's a game that, in its current state, it's like 3 planets. You can't go onto the planet. It's an orbiting space station on the planets. It's got a basic shop element. You get given a ship when you go free within the free one, but you can still buy some of the ships that exist. There's a couple of communications relays. There's 2 bases. It runs like absolute shit. It runs all like the max I get out of it was 20 FPS was the max, even at like 1080p, you know, and it's really buggy, but mechanically it's really solid. The space is the detail of everything's incredible, and you can see sort of where the potential lies. But I was sat looking at it, like seeing the trailers that we were looking at, I was sort of going, oh, it's pretty far along development, and playing this demo, I'm sat there going, this is like a demo of like a pre-alpha.
Is it
You
going
know,
to be No Man's Sky all over again?
No,
Is the hype going to be revealed to be a really, really messy, not working
Well,
game?
they're showing
I
so
don't
much
think
of
it
the
is.
game off, is the thing.
Yeah,
I
but they're
know-
clearly but the version they're showing off is clearly not representative of what people who are actually
Oh,
playing.
no,
it
but
are
they do say
experiencing.
that. They say this is our in-house version that
Yeah.
we're working on.
So I think it feels like it's not as far along development as we think. But I think the potential there that we see in it is fully there. Because it was like, in it, for example, you start at like a little basic sort of space station. You can call your thing and you go to a terminal and you request your ship, and then it goes, your ship will be at this dock, basically, this thing. And then you have to navigate using the signs in the space station to this thing. Then you have to go to the airlock, put your spacesuit on, go into the airlock, depressurize the airlock, go, find your ship, get in your ship. You have to fucking bring the ladder down, get in your ship, then you take off and you fuck off. And then it's like, oh, go repair the fucking communications relay. And you have to go, and then you've got to fight some pirates, and you've got to get out your ship, and then you've got to fucking go in 0G into this communication station, turn it back on, and then there's... It's good, but it runs like shit. It's awful. It was very unpleasant to play. Just 'cause of shit. But it's free, so... It's like 25 gigs, and there's barely anything to it. It's because the texture is so big, but...
Wow.
Yeah, try it. It's free. I think you go to Star Citizen. It's there. It's if your PC has anything less than like a 970, don't even fucking bother. Don't even fucking bother. It won't. It barely runs. It doesn't even run at acceptable frame rate for like me, and I've got like one of the high-end graphics cards. It's not going to run at acceptable frame for you. That's also Dungeon Keeper's free on Origin at the moment.
Ooh, I had the pleasure of downloading a game from Origin this week. It was Battlefield 1. I love Origin. You just hit download and it's like, oh, okay. And it downloads.
Yeah,
And it downloads ridiculously quickly. Actually maxes out my internet connection. I've got like... Because it literally took 20 times longer to download 2K17 on the PS4.
Don't even fucking mention the PS4's downloads here.
Ugh.
God.
Literally 20
Awful.
times faster download. And they're roughly the same size games.
20 is good. 100 times slower the PSN is for me half the time than my Steam connection.
No, totally.
Literally 100. That's not hyperbole. That is, it took me a day to download 15 gigs off the PSN.
Good.
I had to, right, when I was trying to download the 2K17 day one patch, I had to move my PS4 up to my office because I don't have in Ethernet down in my living room. And the Wi-Fi connection I was getting on it was 1 megasecond. One!
I thought you said 1 megasecond.
A megasecond?
What's a megasecond?
That sounds great,
I
whatever
was
that
getting
is.
1 megabit a second.
Bring
Sorry,
on the
I
megasecond.
was getting no. Yeah, I was getting 1 megabit a second on a 1,000 megabit a second connection.
That's...
Because the PS4's Wi-Fi fucking thing is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And even on Ethernet, it's terrible. I was getting like maybe 50 on Ethernet.
I feel like we should wrap this up.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like we should have wrapped it up probably about 10 minutes in.
Well, whatever.
But I feel like we've covered a lot of ground today. I think we've all learnt something. I think we've all grown, raised, some might say.
Yeah.
I think...
I mean,
We've
I've
learned a lot
grown in
about
more
maths.
ways than one.
I think this will never be a VOD. But I think we had fun. Oh, Jesus Christ. I really have nothing else to say. And I don't want to say anything else. I think we should just walk away silently. Should we all just like get up and go? Yeah, let's just go.
Can I plug something first?
You can plug whatever you want, as long as it's not bread into Uranus. I'm out.
Oh. No, never mind. I'll just go.
Yeah, we're just going to silently slip away. Goodbye, everybody.
Going over here.
Goodbye. Goodbye now.